Football has returned. 9 long months since state titles were earned at AT&T Stadium. Now today, the quest begins again. And for these two teams, there is no easing into the new season. Defending 4A Division I state champion Stephenville on the road to face perennial playoff threat Midlothian Heritage in the 2022 season opener on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you into season number 5 here on the WFA Digital Network. Mike Leslie back with you once again, joined this year by our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited. Obviously, Texas high school football is in my blood, and man, I'm just really excited to be here with you this season covering some of the biggest games in the state.
A Lincoln High product, a Kansas State and UNT linebacker, and if that's not cool enough, Mean Joe Green's nephew as well.
Well, hey, my uncle's going to have to put me as his nephew on his wiki page if that's going to be my claim to fame.
So let's get into what should be a fantastic football game tonight. Number 1 and defending state champion Stephenville beginning their title defense tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a team that, you know, when you come off of a state title, and when I spoke with Coach Doty, one of his things that he said was, look, it took us about 21 days to get over it. Obviously, the ring ceremonies was everything that we thought it would be. But if you want to repeat, and he knows how hard that's going to be, look, he has to come in and be laser focused, especially in this first game.
They do have to replace Coy Aiken, who was a monster part of this offense last year, 31 receiving touchdowns. They got to figure out who's going to be the new favorite target for Ryder Lambert. Meanwhile, for Midlothian Heritage, jumping up in classification and with a brand new coach. It's been a topsy-turvy offseason, but they feel like they're ready.
Well, you know what? With Coach Edwards, he is a defensive coach, and so that's the one thing that he is going to stand behind is his defense. And as they say in this cliche, defense wins championships, and they're going to get tested today.
So let's get to our players to watch for tonight. I mentioned Ryder Lambert, the quarterback for Stephenville. He's the one key piece from a position player standpoint. He and Tate Maruska both back on the offensive side of the ball for Stephenville. Around the two of them, there's not much, but Lambert's fantastic.
4,200 yards last season, 52 touchdowns. And you know what? A lot of people just think of him as a pocket passer, but he's also an athlete. 800 yards rushing last season. So he is definitely the guy to watch. And the biggest compliment from Coach Doty was saying that he is on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks that he's coached. That's saying a lot.
Especially when you think of the history of Stephenville at the quarterback position. That is a mouthful. Only 3 kids in the entire country last year threw 4 more passing yards than Ryder Lambert did. Meanwhile, on the other side for Midlothian Heritage, the quarterback as well, our player to watch in Caden Brown. Really, really gifted kid.
Hey, Caden Brown is a coach's kid, so he doesn't get away from being coached up at all. The offensive coordinator, Coach Smith, is his dad, and you got to understand, you know, for him, this is the first time I've ever heard of a quarterback that has a linebacker mentality, a former defensive player, and so I don't know if those things go hand in hand, me, myself being a former linebacker, but I'm excited about him and his athleticism that's going to be on display here.
It is time to finally stir it up once again. The high school football season has returned. Stephenville and Midlothian Heritage kick it off next on Friday Night Football.
Sometimes, parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
Here in Midlothian, the site tonight for the season opener on Friday Night Football as the Heritage Jaguars play host to top-ranked Stephenville. Your head coaches tonight for the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, Stephen Doty in his third year as their head coach, 28-11 in his 3 seasons, of course 16-0 a year ago, and state champions in 4A Division I. For Midlothian Heritage, their head coach Eric Edwards, his first year as the head coach here at Heritage, the defensive coordinator a year ago, taking over for Lee Wigginton, who took the job at Allen. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back with you here in the booth. We do appreciate you being with us tonight for the season opener of Friday Night Football. And Heckma, we got a heck of a game in front of us tonight.
Yeah, and we sure do. And you can tell with Coach Edwards what he is thinking about as a defensive coordinator. He puts his defense on the field first versus that high-powered Yellow Jacket offense. So really exciting, an electric atmosphere for a first game here in Midlothian.
Stephenville's offense, led by Ryder Lambert, will have the first crack at it here as Heritage did win that toss and deferred. So Dylan Riggins ready to kick the ball away. Deep to return for the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, Tate Maruska and Peyton Poston. And we are about ready for the 2022 high school football season. Poston deep, and actually instead of Maruska, it is Tristan Gentry, the sophomore wide receiver, deep to return, a player that they need to take a step up this year and show that he can be a key piece for this program, Heckma, with so much lost in the receiving corps last year.
Yeah, he's going to look at his role growing exponentially now with the losses of the seniors that they had last season. So definitely Coach Doty is depending on these two gentlemen that are back to receive.
Riggins set to kick it away. Everybody anticipating, but nothing happening yet.
It's like we're all set.
Finally, the signal from our officiating crew, and Dylan Riggins gets the 2022 Friday Night Football season underway with a nice kick into the end zone for a touchback, and out comes this Stephenville Yellow Jackets offense led by Ryder Lambert, the senior quarterback. Last year, 65% completion, 4,275 passing yards, and 52 touchdowns. But well over 90% of his passing yards last year, the receivers to those yards, graduated and gone. Most notably, of course, Coy Aiken, who had a tremendous season, 31 touchdowns last year.
Man, unbelievable numbers from Coy Aiken, who is now at Texas Tech, and they have a weapon in him, does Joey McGuire. How do you replace that? And when we talk with Coach Doty, what did he say? It's going to be by committee. Everybody's going to get an opportunity to add to that production that was lost. So, hey, the next set of superstars are about to start here in Midlothian, Texas.
Lambert out there with Tristan Gentry and Peyton Poston as 2 starting wide receivers, a 4 wide receiver set to start the football game tonight. And they're going to go deep right off the rip, up the near side, up the seam, but too long. Intended for Tate Maruska, the running back, running a seam route and got behind the defense, but just a little too much on it.
And you know what? Ryder Lambert put a little bit too much on it. And maybe that's a little bit of the jitters of first night football for Ryder Lambert. And he does know Tate Maruska is a guy that runs a 10-900 meters. So the guy got some jets. And that's the guy that you want to open up and take the lid off with.
And they'll give it to Maruska here on the second play from scrimmage. He's got enough for the first down. Banged down right at the sticks by Solomon Hopkins.
And look at this hole that they're opening up front. It's all going to start in the trenches for these guys with Butchie and Brister. The glue guys, as Coach called them.
So fresh 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for Stephenville. Handoff from Maruska once again, this time cut down right at the 43-yard line, maybe a gain of 2.
And as you look up front here, and Sir Luke Tonte, man, what a name, Sir Luke. Yeah, I thought Heckman was something, but Sir Luke is one that I have been looking forward to saying right out of the box. He is making his presence felt and sealing that edge.
And B.J. Thomas in on the tackle as well. A gain of about 2.5. So here comes Ryder Lambert on 2nd and 7. Quick throw right side, too tall and incomplete.
And immediately I like this pressure that they're bringing, the Jaguars are bringing right off the edge. And that's what they anticipated, did Coach Doty, knowing that they'd be filling up those A gaps. But right now they're getting the pressure right into the face of Ryder Lambert. He's going to have to make some adjustments with this big 3rd down.
Have to get to the 49-yard line in Heritage territory for a first down. Lambert in shotgun, tight set around him, throwing over the middle, complete, and enough for a first down. He hits Topher Foster, the senior.
Yeah, Topher just finds a nice little spot in that zone and sits down right there on the M, and that's good enough for a first down.
Into Heritage territory for the first time today for the Stephenville Yellow Jackets. Caden Henderson with his, beg your pardon, it was Maruska once again on the carry. Give him 2.
You know, they list Maruska at 5'9", 170 pounds, but from up here, he looks a lot bigger than that. Really patient runner, as quick as he is. That's one of the things that's really hard for guys with that kind of speed. Can they be patient and let the play develop?
Play action to Maruska this time. Pressure in the face of Lambert, but he swings it out near side for Tristan Gentry. Close to first down yardage. They'll mark him just a hair shy.
Great pass from Lambert out to Gentry. We talk about his role having to expand and get some of those yards that's left behind by Corey Aiken.
They do give him enough for the first down as they move to the spot after the play. So 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line in Heritage territory. Maruska with the handoff. Patient in the hole, following his blocker's leg drive to the 30-yard line and still going. He's still on his feet, but they'll blow it dead at the 29-yard line. He never actually went down.
No, he didn't. But, you know, for safety purposes, they're going to make sure they blow that down, especially when you get in the pile.
I think being realistic, his forward progress was eventually stopped there. Heritage defense stopping when they heard the whistle. 2nd down and 3. Lambert pressure, dances away from it. Getting to the outside, still looking downfield, has a man complete. It's Titus Russell. First down and then some, inside the 10.
That's all Ryder Lambert. And he has that pressure on him, and he's dancing now. Look at this athleticism. I talked about him not just being a stationary target in the pocket. Gets out, man, and makes a big-time play, keeping his eyes up the field. That's one of his greater assets.
One of the best players in the state a year ago. Now a senior, and now with a free play. Looking end zone, up top, hauled in. Touchdown, Peyton Poston. Stephenville with an effective drive down the field to score first tonight.
And look at this pass right here, right over the ear of the cornerback, and he puts it right in the place where Peyton Poston can go up and make a play. Absolute great execution on the first drive for the Yellow Jackets.
Peyton Poston did not record a statistic last year. Tonight takes him just 3 minutes and 16 seconds to record his first touchdown of 2022. Who said there were question marks at the wide receiver position?
Well, I think if you have Ryder Lambert as the quarterback, there won't be any questions, because he's going to make sure that he gets the ball to the open receiver. And that was all set up by him. And it go back to the play before that and him being able to keep his eyes upfield and deliver that shot to keep the chains moving. And that's what you get from a player like Ryder Lambert.
One more look at it as Ryder Lambert went up top to Peyton Poston for the touchdown, and Stephenville drives down the field to take a 7-0 lead just 3 minutes and 16 seconds in the season opener on Friday Night Football.
Jason, we're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
But just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Ryder Lambert to Peyton Poston to open the scoring tonight here in Midlothian, and the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, #1 in the state, looking to repeat as state champions in 4A Division I, starting the season off in style. Heckma Harrison right down the field they went. A strategic and a very effective drive from Ryder Lambert.
And it looked like they hadn't taken any time off at all. This offense is rolling. Right from they must have got on the bus right from AT&T Stadium and came right over here, because they moved the ball pretty efficiently, and all of that was set up by the running of Tate Maruska, but just on the arm of Lambert.
From the 4-yard line, ahead of steam here on special teams for Heritage. Kyler Udy out close to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 38, and a nice return for Heritage. And here comes the offense for the Jaguars. Their offensive coordinator, Ryan Smith, their quarterback, Caden Brown, his stepson.
And Udy, for a while there, he looked like he had a bunch of daylight, but it closed pretty quickly. Stephenville stayed in their lanes and get the tackle, but that's a good starting point right now for the Jags.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Brown in shotgun with Jason Barella behind him. Read option, quick throw far side, too tall for Stetson Surratt.
Had the right idea, did Caden Brown, taking that ball out of the belly of his running back in the read option offense, but like you said, ball just a little too high.
Stetson Surratt, a state triple jump kid. Their head coach Eric Edwards told us about how much pop he's got, how much ability he has to get in the air. Nobody's getting that ball, though, a little too tall. Barella with a nice run here on 2nd down and 10, out to the 44 and a pickup of 6. We do appreciate you being with us here on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the brand new WFAA Plus, streaming on Amazon Fire TV and on Roku. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop a comment in the chat stream. Let us know where you're watching from tonight, who you're tuning in to see, who your favorite player is on either one of these two teams. As in motion is Stetson Surratt. Well, option pitch will go to Surratt, but closed off quickly. Really nice defensive play by Kyler Udy.
And you see Udy, he just reads this perfectly from his safety position, recognizing that there's going to be an outlet. You have to stay disciplined in situations like that, because if you go after the quarterback, he's going to make that extra pass or that pitch, and it's going to be all kind of space outside for a big play.
What looked like there was room for Surratt to pick up the first down. Instead, maybe a pickup of a yard, and it sets up 4th down and 3. And Midlothian Heritage will have to punt it away. Jason Barella, their running back, is their punter. One thing that Sterling Doty, the head coach from Stephenville, told us earlier this week, they ran 11 fake punts in 12 games last year, did Heritage. So Stephenville is on the lookout for that in a big way. Barella, their running back, being the punter, only adds to their capability to do that, but Barella will punt it away this time. High end-over-end punt that will take a Heritage bounce out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, definitely looking for a favorable bounce, but that's going to set Stephenville up in some pretty good position.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line here for Stephenville, after they went 70 yards in 3 minutes and 16 seconds to open the football game. Now 1 minute and 50 seconds later, they take the ball back once again, looking for more.
Really impressed with Gentry and Poston. Guys that didn't have a lot of experience, but you can tell they have been waiting for their opportunity and they're seizing it.
Our officiating crew sorting things out, and I don't believe there was a flag, but I guess they're changing the spot of the ball. I never saw a flag. It was initially marked at about the 28. They've walked it out to the 33-yard line, but I certainly didn't see a flag from our crew led by Rod McLean tonight. Either way, it's 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Maruska with the handoff into the pile and swallowed up there.
Yeah, initially on that punt, it looked like Barella, he shanked it. So when they brought it out to the 27, no one from Midlothian was going to say anything.
They had no problem with that spot.
No.
Gain of about 2 on the run from Maruska. He'll go in motion here on 2nd down and 8. Lambert looking up the seam, flag flies. He's got a man behind the defense. It's Poston, comes back and makes a great adjustment to make the grab. We'll check the flag that was down in the neighborhood of holding. But what a catch from Peyton Poston.
Yeah, and great concentration. But like I said, Ryder Lambert, even when you stretch him and make him come out of the pocket, his athleticism and ability to keep his eyes up the field, that is just incredible.
Poston making a great catch, but the flag negates it all. It is indeed a holding penalty. It will remain 2nd down, but the ball will come back to, well, they're still sorting out the spot right now. Looks like it's going to come back to the 25-yard line. And that'll set up 2nd down and 18 here for the Yellow Jackets offense.
Finally, some things going the Jaguars' way here at home. Looking like Lambert is just picking them apart.
Lambert looking downfield into traffic, just under through Titus Russell, and it's 3rd and long.
That's a good job by Lambert. We saw a little bit of that in the scrimmage versus Alito. His cadence, ability to get the defense to jump off sides. He does it again and gets a free play.
So it keeps it 2nd down, gives Stephenville a couple of those penalty yards back, brings it out to the 30-yard line, and it becomes 2nd down and 13.
I believe that was Tamarick Johnson that jumped off sides for the Jaguars.
3 wide receivers bunched to the top of the formation here for Stephenville on 2nd and 13. Handoff from Maruska, big hole. Cut down just shy of the 40-yard line.
That's some tough sledding, but you look over there on that right side. Tyler Tucker and Clayton Smith. Right guard and right tackle. Doing a good job of opening up that hole for Tate Maruska.
Makes 3rd down much more manageable here at 3rd down and 4. Maruska with the handoff, but undercut. Nice play by B.J. Thomas to knife in there and make the tackle.
Like that was enough to pick up the 1st down, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So Stephenville manages to dig their way out of what was a 2nd down and 18. The penalty certainly helped in that, drawing him offside. And now Lambert's going to go deep for Poston once again up that far sideline, and a flag flies in. 2 of them, in fact.
Going to get John Olasana on the far side, just a little bit too much hand checking. Looked innocent enough, but if you're a cornerback, you can see that they're calling this pretty tight. So you got to make an adjustment. It wasn't bad coverage. He's running step for step, but understanding that Lambert can get that ball into a small space.
Yeah, on some level, I'm not sure what Olasana was supposed to do differently there.
Like I said, didn't look like much from up here.
Yeah. But the 15-yard penalty will bring the football into Midlothian Heritage territory. Just past the midway point of quarter number 1 here in the 2022 season opener on Friday Night Football. Stephenville driving down the field in the opening 3:16 to score as Lambert hit Peyton Poston. Now he's going deep up the post and connecting with Christian Gentry, running away to the end zone. Touchdown Stephenville, 42 yards.
I just want to put the 4A on notice because Ryder Lambert is picking up right where he left off, right to Tristan Gentry. And the one thing you were saying, Mike, is that these receivers don't have any experience. Hey, don't look like you need any experience to apply for this job here in Stephenville. What a throw and catch.
Diego Chavarria on for the extra point. And a perfect start to the football game for the defending state champions, Midlothian Heritage, jumping out to a 14-0 lead. Ryder Lambert with 2 touchdown passes to open the season. This one 42 yards to Tristan Gentry, and they lead by 2 scores.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Back in Midlothian, Stephenville with a 14-0 lead over the Midlothian Heritage Jaguars, the #1 team in the state in 4A Division I, and the defending state champs, the Yellow Jackets. Heckma Harrison with as good a start as they could ask for.
No, it doesn't get any better than this. Like I said, they really are picking up from where they left off. This offense, man, how efficient they are and balanced. Well, again, Coach Doty said it. They were going to make sure that with the pressure that they knew that the Jaguars are going to come in with defensively, they were going to make it a point to sprinkle in a lot of the run as well. But looks like they've seen something in this back half of this defense that they are exploiting.
TJ Pride here on the kickoff return from inside his own 5-yard line. This time the Yellow Jackets coverage team a little better at bottling him up, and they take him down to the 29.
Yeah, recognizing that quickness that they have back there on the return team. But right now, if you're Midlothian, you understand you're down by 14. You have got to try and steal back a little bit of momentum in this game. So it's very important for Caden Brown to have a successful drive. Doesn't matter if you get 3 points, just allow for your defense to get a rest right now because they are getting taken to the woodshed in this first quarter.
So far, Heritage has only been on the field offensively for 1 minute and 50 seconds in this football game. They take over here 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line with a 4-wide receiver set for Caden Brown. Flush to the near side. Has a man wide open up the seam. Jason Barella across midfield. Barella breaking a tackle and inside the 35.
It's a good play by Barella. It looks like this ball, as soon as Caden Brown gets it out of his hand, but it's a bit of a balloon because Barella is waiting to get that pass in a post route. delivered a little bit cleaner. Maybe he's able to make a bigger play. But again, that's the kind of play that they needed.
Jason Borrella, the 5'9", 160-pound senior, making a big play, and a little bit of life here for Midlothian Heritage. Dangerous pass there to TJ Pride that looked like it was heading straight toward a Yellow Jacket. Brad Beatty was there waiting for it.
Oh, Brad Beatty's eyes were wide as saucers because he thought he was going to make a house call. That's a good job of batting that ball down by Pride.
Five wide receivers set here for Caden Brown. It'll be Borrella in the slot on the left-hand side. Brown flushed forward and taken down in the backfield. Malachi Arredondo there for the sack.
And Arredondo has put on that weight, 15, 20 pounds of muscle. And he needed it right there. A bit of a bull rush and keeping his hands active to get the sack versus Brown.
And that sets up 3rd down and 15 now here from the 38-yard line for Heritage.
It's not ideal, but if you have a 3rd down and 15 play, boy, it's time to get it out now.
Officially, they'll call it 3rd and 14 here in-house. They've got to get to the 24-yard line to pick up the 1st down. Brown, straight drop. Flush to his left, has a lot of green grass in front of him. Pump fakes, cuts up field. That'll make 4th down a bit more of a decision here for head coach Eric Edwards.
It's not a no-brainer. He's going to keep his team on the field and go for it.
Dylan Riggins, their kicker, we saw, has a big leg, sent the ball into the end zone for a touchback on the opening kickoff of the football game. Would be a 45-yarder from here, but instead they're going to go for it on 4th and 5. Timeout Heritage.
Yeah, that's a good timeout for Coach Edwards. Get an opportunity to make sure that you get a play that you can execute in short yardage.
Offensive coordinator Ryan Smith wanting to talk things over with his stepson, Caden Brown, the quarterback. Kind of a cool relationship there between the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. As Eric Edwards said to us earlier this week when we spoke with him, he said, technically he's his stepson. He said he's his son. That's a father-son relationship through and through. Smith was at SAG. He was the head coach at SAGU down in the Waxahachie area until this past spring. Came over to lead the offense here at Heritage, and that combination, father and son, trying to make something happen here. Heckma 4th and 5.
Yeah, but you know what? It is a cool relationship between both of these programs and how closely knit they are in these relationships. We got that nugget, not from Coach Edwards. We got that from Coach Doty. He knows everything about these guys. That was a really fun fact.
We will talk more about that in just a little bit, but yeah, these coaching staffs are absolutely intertwined. 4th and 5 here. Brown with Borrella in the pistol. Play action. Quick throw near side. Complete. TJ Pride has enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, they come on a slant route. That's a good ball and catch by Pride. They had to execute that. I thought for a second there that Caden Brown was going to go with it on the keeper.
But they convert on the 4th and 5, and it's a fresh 1st down at the 21-yard line. Handoff Borrella, big hole up the middle. Borrella inside the 10 with a head of steam to the end zone. Jason Borrella, 21 yards for the touchdown.
And that's what you call parting the Red Sea for the Jaguars, as they allow Borrella to run right through untouched. No one touches him for 20 yards, and he's able to get an easy touchdown. That's about the still. I talked about getting the momentum, stealing a little bit of that momentum back. That was the drive that they needed, and they came away with 6 points.
Jason Borrella did a lot of the work on that drive. Of course, the big catch that started it off and then finishes it off with the touchdown run. And Midlothian Heritage, a team that needed something in a big way to kind of stem the tide in the early goings of this football game, gets it courtesy of their senior running back. 14-7 the tally now after the extra point from Dylan Riggins. And the Jaguars are back in this football game. Jason Borrella right up the gut for the touchdown. And it's 14-7 late in the first quarter.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag.
Just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
As we welcome you back to Don Floyd Field here at Midlothian ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium. 14-7 our tally right now in favor of the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, but Midlothian Heritage driving right down the field, and Jason Barella had a big chunk of that, obviously, Heckma Harrison, in getting them back in this football game.
Not only Barella, but also TJ Pride. Don't forget about that 4th and 5 and him coming up clutch on that slant route and keeping the chains moving. I love the way Caden Brown kind of stilled his nerves, calmed down, and was able to manufacture a drive for the Jaguars. They needed that.
Kickoff in the corner of the field, and good coverage here from Midlothian Heritage, taking down Tristan Gentry.
Yeah, that's good coverage. But right now, defensively, they've got to get a stop. The offense has come out and they've responded. Defense has gotten a rest. So right now, bringing that pressure, they've got to make sure that they keep Lambert bottled up. When he gets outside of the pocket right now, that's where he's most effective. He's getting outside of the pocket and finding his receivers behind these safeties. So if they're going to bring the pressure, they got to at least try and bring it from the outside and bring him, back inside.
So they'll start at 1st and 10. Still trying to figure out exactly where the spot will be. It looks like they've moved it once again. He was taken down at the 18-yard line. But they're going to mark off another 5-yard penalty here and put it at the 24-yard line.
It's the first game for the officials as well. So
1st and 10 from the 24 it'll be for Ryder Lambert and company. Quick throw far side and dropped right through the hands of his intended target. Topher Foster, the intended receiver.
Now, I don't want to say Topher was running before he actually caught the ball, or maybe he heard footsteps because outside linebacker Noah O'Neal was tracking him on the outside. But that's a ball I'm sure Topher wish he had back.
He had some running room in front of him if he had secured the catch. Instead, 2nd and 10 here. 2:37 to play in the opening quarter. Stephenville came out, scored the first 2 touchdowns of the day. Now another deep shot, but some miscommunication there between Ryder Lambert and Tristan Gentry.
I hate to be one of these back in my day kind of guys, but this is a back in my day moment where, teams used to huddle up and they don't anymore. And you just see offenses standing around and getting signals from the sideline, and a lot of that miscommunication happens from there, getting the signals corrected. I did it, first one back in my days.
3rd down and 10. Lambert flush near side. Gets the pass off. Big hit, but hanging on is Topher Foster. Says, hey, I dropped the first one, but I'm going to make that catch and pick up a 1st down.
Oh, he's going to feel that one in the morning. I like it. He's walking it off, but what a shot he took from number 4, Ryan Figueroa. Figgy lowering the boom.
Great shot from our crew up top as well. You saw that ball got tipped even on its way to Foster. He was still able to maintain concentration and make the catch and pick up the 1st down. Maruska, not much to work with there. Give him 2 on the play. Noah O'Neal there for the tackle.
And if you're the Jaguars defense, you got to ask yourself, what do you got to do to stop Ryder Lambert? They're getting pressure on him. He's so efficient with his footwork. I mean, guys at this level, you don't see a lot of them. When they get pressure, man, they put their head down. They immediately look to run. Not Lambert, man. He's keeping his feet calm, stepping up in the pocket, and delivering.
Tristan Gentry wide open on the near side, makes the grab, bounces off a tackle, picks up the first down, and chased out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Gentry is a big kid. You got to wrap him up. Gentry maybe took the worst of that collision as he's down.
Stephenville athletic trainer Wendy Svoboda making her way out to tend to Tristan Gentry, the sophomore wide receiver. Has already showed what a talent he is for this program here in this opening quarter, but took a big hit there at the tail end of that play and bounced off of it and kept running, but a little worse for the wear after the fact. Another look at it here.
Yeah, right on that left shoulder, and that's what he's favoring.
He got crunched by Solomon Hopkins, the senior safety.
And most of these wide receivers on average, they're right at about 6 foot, 5'11", 6'1", right across the board. But they play a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, Gentry certainly looks and plays bigger than 5'11".
And hope he's okay.
Sterling Doty out to tend to him as well. Doty was looking to the far side with his palms to the sky. I'm not sure exactly what he was looking for, but now looks like another couple of members perhaps of the Yellow Jackets training staff making their way over. You certainly hope that Gentry is okay. It looked somewhat innocuous at first blush, but to see him down for this long certainly isn't what anybody wants to see.
Yeah, finally sitting up. That's a good sign. Get a look at it again, and I think it's the first contact that he gets right there on his left shoulder. He continues to run, and then it's hit out of bounds.
Back on his feet now, but still gingerly beginning to walk off.
They're not even going to the sideline. They're going straight to the locker room.
Tristan Gentry, a sophomore wide receiver, had a 42-yard touchdown reception just a few minutes ago. But they are taking his helmet and walking off the field with him, to your point, Heckman, not toward the sideline, but toward their tunnel and toward the locker room.
Yeah, and holding that shoulder, trying to keep his arm in place. Don't know if it's the elbow or the shoulder, but either way, not a good sign. And hopefully he'll be okay.
The Stephenville Yellow Jackets program trying to figure out how to replace all that they lost a year ago in the receiving corps. Coy Aiken obviously paramount among that group. Now at Texas Tech after catching 31 touchdowns a year ago. Tristan Gentry, part of that plan, but headed to the locker room right now. Back to the action. Ryder Lambert flush forward in the pocket, makes a man miss, gets back out past the line of scrimmage and actually picks up 4 yards on the play.
Well, Ryder Lambert just made me eat my words. I say you want to keep him in the pocket, keep him, don't let him get outside. And even when he does stay in the pocket, he has the athleticism to still rip the defense and pick up positive yardage.
The ability to just make guys miss in a phone booth is so rare, especially at the quarterback position, but Lambert just showed it right there. Now handoff for Maruska on 2nd down and 6. He gets out the back door. He's got a first down and down to the 31-yard line. A fresh first down here for the Yellow Jackets.
Well impressed with Tate. 982 yards on the season last year with 6 touchdowns. 134 carries. He's just really patient. Again, this is a guy that has some jets.
You mentioned it earlier, a 10-9 100-meter dash. That's cooking. He gets the handoff here once again. This time Solomon Hopkins there to fill the hole and hold him to a yard gain.
right now with 22 seconds in this first quarter. The Jaguars defense have got to be looking for an answer. Even these slow, methodical drives by a defense, man, it just takes all of the wind out of yourselves. And all the momentum that they built up with that last drive and getting a score, they need to try and manufacture a stop here. But right now, Ryder Lambert is pretty much has the smorgasbord of anything that he wants to do, in this drive.
14-7 after one. Stephenville, the #1 team in the state in 4AD1, leading and driving when we return on Friday Night Football.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm.
Back in Midlothian, 2nd down and 9 for the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, and Ryder Lambert drew him offside once again. I don't see a flag on the field, though. Maybe they dropped one in the corner. He's just going to throw that ball away.
Yeah, we got one right here on the near side.
Oh, it's hiding the 30-yard line. Yes, indeed. So he does at least get the 5 yards out of the deal. He just didn't get to take the shot downfield. That's, I believe, the 3rd time today that Lambert has drawn him off.
Coach Doty talked about that high IQ from Ryder Lambert, and that's when you have a quarterback that can do that. I mean, short yardage situations, and it changes up his cadence and gets guys to jump off sides. I mean, that's so valuable.
2nd down and 4. Lambert looking up top. Peyton Poston on the post for 6. 25 yards for another Ryder Lambert touchdown pass.
Goodness gracious, man. Ryder Lambert is making it look easy. Look at how just calm, cool, and collected he is in the pocket. He knows where he's going right away. Right before the snap, he realizes that he has the coverage that he needs. Posted, lined up inside, and that post route untouched.
Extra point up and through from Diego Chavarria. 21-7 Stephenville.
Yeah, just unfair right now. Ryder Lambert, anything he wants to do right now, he has it at his fingertips. And the excellent route running by his receivers, guys that we've talked about earlier, that were waiting to get their opportunity, and they're taking full advantage. Obviously, with Tristan Gentry leaving the game with an injury, nothing stops the party because Peyton Poston runs a post route, and just the touch from Ryder Lambert, he's putting that ball on the money.
Now Eric Edwards, in his very first game as the head coach here at Midlothian Heritage, trying to figure out how to rally the troops here on their home field, down 21-7 here in the early going.
You know, guys really has to stay true to who they are. They are a pressure defense, and I think they're sitting back and kind of, when you have a quarterback like Ryder Lambert in your house, you have sometimes you sit back and admire his work, and for this defense, they can't. You know, you can't ask him for his autograph later, right? But come after him right now. But you realize, man, you're seeing something special in the way that he's delivering, and he's just really keeping this defense off balance.
Meanwhile, now for the Midlothian Heritage offense, the onus is on you to keep pace because Stephenville's very happy to get into a shootout. Their offense is very clearly amply prepared to do so. Now Caden Brown and company have to respond in kind and try and keep pace in this game.
Yeah, they're baiting them into a shootout. Like you said, they want nothing other than to have a shootout situation. But you're right, for Caden Brown, this is important. He has to figure out a way to manufacture another drive, and if they could do it right now, get something quick instead of a slow, methodical drive, maybe that works in their favor.
Jason Barella on the return out close to the 30-yard line, and here comes Caden Brown once again. Ryder Lambert with 3 touchdown passes in the opening 12 minutes and 12 seconds of this football game. After a tremendous junior year where he threw for 52 touchdowns, already 3 here in his senior season. And that puts some pressure on his counterpart, Caden Brown, the senior quarterback for Midlothian Heritage. Brown committed to South Dakota State, had 3 different scholarship offers. He's got Barella motioning into the slot here. Now he'll keep it himself off the read option. Lowers his shoulder into the chest of Hayden Keith and pushes his way out close to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, there's that linebacker mentality. You know, you don't see a lot of quarterbacks see a linebacker coming at them and welcome the opportunity to have that contact.
Brown played safety and linebacker as a sophomore. All district as a linebacker that sophomore year. Now his second year as the starting quarterback for Midlothian Heritage. A year ago, 35 combined touchdowns. Handoff here for Barella up the gut. Got the first down and then some. Across midfield with a head of steam. Jason Barella with the scoots.
Man, and really, we talked about the drive before that and what Barella did on the touchdown where he was untouched. Man, they are opening up some big holes on that right side with number 77, Dylan Miller and Ty Robinson.
Miller and Robinson, the right guard and right tackle. Robinson a year ago was their 6th offensive lineman, played a good bit as that very next offensive lineman off the bench. This year sliding into the starting role at that right tackle position, and to your point, opening up some holes here for Jason Barella. Three wides to the right here for Caden Brown on 1st and 10. Handoff Barella. Head up with Udy, runs right through him and picks up the first down.
Wow, that's just strong running right there, Mike. You see him welcome that contact from Udy, keeping his legs moving and going up the field. Man, it's hard to bring down a guy like that, and that's tough sledding.
Kyler Udy's not a small guy. In fact, has an inch on Jason Barella and about 20 pounds according to their official listings. But Jason Barella with the leg drive got lower, picked up the first down, and it's 1st and 10 at the 35. Now a quick pass right side. Lowering his shoulder and breaking through is Stetson Surratt. Surratt up the sideline. Touchdown, Midlothian Heritage. 35 yards, and Surratt did it all himself.
Love the answer back from the Jaguars. What a pass outside Caden Brown, but all of that was set up by Stetson Surratt, keeping his legs moving. You talk about the state triple jump guy. You know, they know that he's an athlete, but that's just tough running right there. And I think all of that was set up by Jason Barella in his run.
Really brings the defense in toward the middle of the field, putting the pressure on them to account for the running game, and leaves those lanes wide open on the outside. Stetson Surratt capitalizing the extra point up and through, but there are some whistles here.
Showing this replay, that is such an incredible and athletic run by Stetson Surratt.
It's going to be a false start here, according to Rod McLean. So they will retry the PAT from 5 yards further back here for Dylan Riggins. As we've seen with his leg strength today, shouldn't be an issue, but they've got to execute once again. Carter Rutenbar, the holder. And once again, Heritage puts it up and through. 21-14 our tally. Heritage says, all right, you want a shootout? Let's play a shootout. 21-14 Stephenville with the lead. We've seen 5 touchdowns in less than 14 minutes worth of action. This is the season opener of Friday Night Football.
Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag.
Just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
(21-14) our tally through just a couple minutes of this second quarter in the season opener of the 2022 season here on Friday Night Football. The Stephenville Yellow Jackets with a 21-14 lead on Midlothian Heritage, and set to receive from their own 4-yard line is Peyton Poston, coming up the near sideline, out across to the 25-yard line. And back comes the Yellow Jackets offense once again. 3 for 3 today, driving down the field and scoring touchdowns.
Hey, I'm still a little stunned by that Jason Barella run. You got to give me a second here, man. Look, this kid number 3, Jason Barella, does not miss leg day, and you get a run like that. It puts that defense on notice, and that right there was the run that basically got this whole sideline nearest to us from Midlothian. They got a height and were ready to go, and it's plays like that that really makes the pendulum swing.
So here comes Ryder Lambert and company once again. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Lambert with 3 touchdown passes here in the early going. And back out looking for more. Low snap, handoff from Maruska. He'll pick his way through the line for a couple. But there once again for the tackle is Damian Alexander, the senior defensive tackle.
Yeah, these guys have just got to stay true to what they do. Stay in their lanes. But Sir Luke and Tamarick Johnson, guys like that on the edge, they have got to try and get up the field and get a sack on Ryder Lambert. He's been relatively untouched to this point.
2nd down and 8. Maruska once again. And again, nowhere to go. The defensive front from Midlothian Heritage up to the task here in this series. And again, it's Damian Alexander.
Yeah, again, stay in your lanes. Have to stay disciplined. And that ball came out at the last second. Got to take Maruska doing a good job of getting that ball back in possession, because if they were able to get a turnover right there, man, you talk about the momentum swing.
3rd down and 6 as a result of that recovery. Lambert over the middle, hanging on for the grab. What a catch in traffic. And it's Topher Foster once again making a tough grab.
Yeah, Topher making amends for that drop earlier, but Satterwhite, man, he is right there and just not able to dislodge that pass.
Ryan Satterwhite, just a sophomore, but a key piece of this Heritage defense. Johnny on the spot, but just credit to Foster. Stronger hands there to make the grab, and it's 1st down. Pressure off the edge. Lambert flush near side. Sir Luke Tante giving chase. Thrown downfield, and a flag will fly. John Olasanya gets a flag once again as he was fighting for position with Peyton Poston.
You know, I don't know what Olasanya can do in a situation like that, but you know what? It's not the NFL. It's not a possession. It's not a possession foul, you know, right there. So what you got to do, man, look, 15 yards, you take that, but it's not a spot foul is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, not a spot foul. So in high school, if you have to get your hands on the guy and not give up that big play, I'd rather do that than see you give up a touchdown.
And the thing that's unfortunate, I think, for John Olasanya is, I think in that moment, he's turning around seeing football and trying to make a play on the ball, but he gets tangled up there a little bit with Peyton Poston, and they throw the flag, and that gives Stephenville a fresh set of downs here in Midlothian Heritage territory at the 49-yard line. Maruska on the handoff. Lots of running room on the outside. 1st down and then some. Down to the 30-yard line.
Offensive play design and their ability to capture that edge, and that's all set up on the outside with Crease Brister, 6'5", 295 pounds. The Texas Tech commit is doing a great job of the seal block.
Lambert flush forward, makes a man miss, but can't make Noah O'Neill miss. There is a flag down in the backfield.
looks like a holding penalty on the outside. Let's check the call. No, there.
You're going to wave the flag off. So they will take the result of the play, which was maybe a gain of about a foot there for Ryder Lambert before Noah O'Neal took him down. And it'll be 2nd and 9. Maruska with the handoff, going off left tackle, has some running room, running the ladder to the outside and close to first down yardage. I think he'll have another in the red zone.
And just Maruska, that was all set up by him. That H-back block, number 85, on the outside, man, sealing that block for him and allowing him to get outside. They've been capturing that edge at will.
So 1st and 10 for Ryder Lambert and company inside the red zone. Those of you watching on YouTube, please click the like button, click the subscribe button here on the WFAA YouTube channel as Lambert looks up top, end zone, too far for his intended target, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, number 85 is Thomas Barton. Got to give him credit on that block. But, man, these guys on the outside for the Jaguars, they are playing on an island, man-to-man on the outside, and that's where Ryder Lambert is taking advantage. He's saying to himself, I think my guys can beat you man-on-man. And he's putting it in a place where only his guys can get it.
And Heritage defensive coordinator Jacob Bible and head coach Eric Edwards think Ryland Figueroa, their boundary corner, can win one-on-one. Quick throw here from Maruska, has a nice move inside the 10. And another first down. It's 1st and goal for Stephenville.
Man, I love this kid, Maruska. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of wiggle, Mike, but look at this jump cut back inside. He knows that the momentum is going to carry the guy further. Gets back inside and picks up the first down.
And he's a guy that, like you said, maybe not a ton of wiggle, but I think he knows that about himself and knows, hey, I'm going to make one cut, get north and south, pick up yardage, and lower his shoulder, and sets up 1st and goal. This time Lambert's going to keep it himself to the outside. There is nobody home. Touchdown, Stephenville. Ryder Lambert with his 4th of the day.
You just cannot turn your back on Ryder Lambert. Look at this play. He recognizes man-to-man on the outside, and he is the guy that's going to DIA, do it all. He does it right there. It gets to the pylon.
The 9-yard touchdown run, his first rushing score of 2022 after he had 11 of those a year ago on the state championship run for Stephenville. 3 passing, 1 rushing, and Ryder Lambert has staked his team to a 28-14 lead. What a start for the defending state champion Stephenville, and Ryder Lambert saying, hey, I'm still here, guys.
Don't forget about me.
Stephenville up 2 scores here in the 2nd quarter.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
As we welcome you back here in Midlothian, the Stephenville Yellow Jackets offense lost 94% of their receiving yards off their state championship team. Evidently, Heckma Harrison, that doesn't matter very much because they're just fine.
Yeah, when you leave a review for this offense, I don't think they're going to even mention that. They're going to talk about the guys that they have in-house that are doing a wonderful job. But, man, it just, right now, Ryder Lambert is just having it his way. And you said you wanted a shootout. That was what you said last time, man. I don't know how likely that is, but still, Ryder Lambert, man, doing a wonderful job in recognizing that he had that outside run and he was going to walk in.
TJ Pride from his own 9-yard line. Midlothian Heritage very good in special teams. They've been good tonight. Another nice return out to the 37-yard line.
And to their credit, the Jaguars, they just have to continue to stay in this game. and rely on their defense. At some point, they have to slow them down. You would think, like, you're going to get a stop at some point. You have to believe that. But special teams, they're looking for a big play. And again, it comes right now going into half, they need to get another score.
6:41 to play here in this second quarter, and you start to kind of think a little bit ahead if you're Eric Edwards. Hey, we've got the ball to start the third quarter here.
That's a great point, Mike.
Can you maybe try to work together a double here? I don't know if you're going to have a 6-minute and 41-second drive. That'd be a pretty methodical march down the field, but not impossible by any means. And regardless of whether you score at the end of the half or not, if you can string together a couple and boom, you're right back in this football game. So an important drive here for the Jaguars.
No matter what you do, don't leave a lot of time on the clock for Ryder Lambert. Just that's case in point. You know, you try and keep this ball as quick as much as you can. You don't want a quick 3 and out.
Ain't that the truth? Second down and 8. 3 wides to the near side. Handoff here. Good hole on the far side for Mason O'Neal. First time we've called his name tonight. Close to first down yardage, about a yard shy.
I love that they're switching it up, but I want to know, where's Jason Barella?
Third down and a yard. It'll be O'Neal to the right of Caden Brown once again here. Might just be a series off here for Barella. I see him at the near side 40-yard line. Doesn't appear to have anything wrong. They may just be giving him a series to take a blow. Quick throw near side, and it's dropped by Sam Hopkins, who had the first down easy and then some.
You know, for an offensive coordinator, those are just those plays that you go back and you go to film study and you talk to your guys and you go, look, secure the catch. I know you're excited. You want to make a play for the team, but make sure you secure the catch. Do the easy thing first. Catch the ball.
Absolutely should have been a first down for the Jaguars. Instead, with 5:24 to play here in this first half, Jason Barella on the field now to punt. He will indeed punt it away. Good foot on this one. Nobody back to return here for Stephenville. And that's going to take a Midlothian Heritage roll all the way inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Well, Mike, like I said, what they could ill afford was a 3 and out. And they didn't. They left 5 minutes and 13 seconds on this clock for Ryder Lambert. So it's going to be very important for this defense to try and get a stop going into halftime.
We appreciate those of you joining us tonight on the brand new WFAA Plus app. You can download the WFAA Plus app if you have Amazon Fire TV or Roku on your television. You can also watch us on YouTube Live, of course, and beam that to your television if you don't have Amazon Fire TV or Roku. We're also available on WFAA.com and the regular WFAA app on your phone. As a false start is going to begin this series for Stephenville. And it'll be 1st and 14 and a half.
And Hayden Martin, really big body over there at left guard, tried to reset, and I think everyone in Midlothian saw him move. So you're not going to be able to reset number 62.
Some movement on the defensive front, trying to maybe bait them offside. Handoff goes up the middle into the pile, maybe gaining back a few of those penalty yards. Caden Henderson on the carry there for the Yellow Jackets. This feels like a must stop for the Heritage defense.
Yeah, in high school football, especially in the first half, we've seen some pretty miraculous comebacks by teams. But, you know, you recognize the guy you have at the helm at the quarterback position. So I think I'd have to agree with you right there, Mike.
Caden Henderson on the carry once again, but this time cut down quickly. Nice defensive play by Sir Luke Tante.
What do you do now on your defense? You have to put them in a situation where they have to go for long yardage. On a 3rd and, I have it listed at 3rd and 10. I think it's a little less than that.
Yeah, I don't think they've updated the in-house scoreboard. 3rd and 8, as the sticks would read it. They try and set up the screen. Dangerous pass will fall harmlessly incomplete. B.J. Thomas was hunting the pick six right there.
Oh, he really was. And B.J. wished he had an opportunity to just backpedal just a little bit more to get that. But if he gets the completion right there, boy, he has some space to run.
Titus Russell was the intended target. A little tight end screen there in the masses, nearly connecting on it, but the pass a little wide of the senior tight end. And for the first time today, Stephenville will have to punt it away. So credit to this Heritage defense in a spot where they really needed a stop. They come out and not only get a stop, they get a 3 and out.
Yeah, it was necessary. Like you said, this is a must-stop situation. They must have heard you.
Whistles before the snap here on 4th and 8. Now a delay of game is going to dock him another 5 yards. So 2 penalties in this series here for Stephenville. And that just took 5 yards off the punt from Diego Chavarria.
And he's going to have to boot this one out. We talk about all 3 phases of the game for the Jaguars. They're really good on special teams. May want to look to take this one to the house.
They came after that one. High wobbly punt toward the near sideline. That's going to bounce backward. Look at the field position that Heritage is going to have here. 1st and 10 at the 24.
Boy, fate is smiling on Midlothian right now. That bounce, like you said, back to the 24. That is what you want as field position. And if nothing else, you got to come away with points here.
And also, good job by the Midlothian Heritage punt coverage team. They went after the block, didn't get the football, but also did not get the punter. That is a situation where you cannot afford a roughing or even a running into the punter. Running into wouldn't have given him the first down, but still, that was something that very clearly Eric Edwards and company were coaching these kids up on, to be cautious in that situation because you can't have that penalty.
Man, the discipline to not do that is, man, that, you said, that's great on behalf of that special teams group.
Caden Brown in trouble here. Lots of pressure all over him. He can't take a sack all the way back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 20 on the play. There is a flag down on the near sideline. It looked like the head line judge was signaling that maybe the Heritage sideline was too far out. Perhaps that's what the flag here is. It is a sideline warning against Heritage. That's the first of the day, so no penalty yardage associated with it, but something to keep an eye on going forward here. But a 20-yard loss there, heck on a sack that Caden Brown just could not afford to take.
No, you can't. And to his credit, he's just trying to make an athletic play, but sometimes the play is over and you got to get the ball out of your hands.
Quick throw right side for TJ Pry to try and earn back at least a little bit of it, maybe 6 or 7 of those yards earned back. But it creates a scenario where you've got an almost impossible 3rd down and 24. They've got to get all the way back to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, we talk about the discipline to not run into the punter right there, but you gotta, Caden Brown's got to know when the play is over, and that's that's a self-inflicted wound. I'm sure he'll see that one, or at least be talked to about that tonight.
From the 38, got to get to the 14. 3rd and 24. Caden Brown stepping up, creating some time in the pocket, looking downfield, trying to find somebody. Now chased. Chavarria can't get him. Brown up the sideline, leaps over a would-be tackler back inside the 20. It won't be enough for the first down, but what an athletic play from Caden Brown.
Hey, I just said you know when the play is over, but Caden Brown's athleticism is on display right there, and he gets that yardage back. This is going to be a big-time 4th down. It looks like they're going to go for it.
We saw Heritage convert on a big 4th down earlier on their way in for, I believe it was their first touchdown. Now a 4th down and a long 5, and they are going to bring out the field goal unit. Only 8 seconds to work with here on the play clock. They're going to need to hurry. I don't know if they see that. Eric Edwards does. He may have to burn a timeout here, and he will. But Heritage looking to bring on their field goal kicker, Dylan Riggins. Ball sits at the 19-yard line, so you're looking at a 37-yard field goal for the senior Riggins. We saw how big a leg he has already on some of their kickoffs. You would think that that's within his range.
Hey, I'm going to be scouting Riggins. If he can nail a 36-yard field goal, I'm going to go down on the field and ask him what he's doing on Sundays. I know a team that might need a kicker.
Yeah, they play just up the road in Arlington.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Some of the kicking we've seen from the Dallas Cowboys this preseason is
ugly.
Vomit-inducing.
Ugly.
They will spot the block right at the 26-yard line. So yes, a 36-yard field goal here from Riggins. Out of the hold of Carter Rutenbar. Hunter Trajic, the snapper here for Heritage. From the left hash. Riggins. No good, wide left. All the work that Heritage did to get the defensive stop. The punt that gave them such a great bounce to get great field position. But then the big sack, of course, of Caden Brown kind of blew everything up. A couple big plays to earn a lot of those yards back. But the field goal misses wide left, and they have nothing to show for it.
And sometimes you can dig yourself too big a hole, and that was one. And Caden Brown, to his credit, he tried to make up for it on that run where he hurdled a defender. But on the kick, that's a lot to ask. He had plenty of leg on it, but like you said, it was wide left.
So back comes Ryder Lambert now with 2 minutes and 27 seconds to work with. Swings it quick left side. Maruska undercut after a gain of about 3.
Good job keeping Maruska in bounds.
Major Vaughn making a nice play on the outside. They kind of rotate him with Tristan Pipkin. Vaughn, the quicker of the two, the one that's better in coverage. And you saw some of the speed there, getting to the outside to undercut Maruska and keep it to a short gain. Hand off Maruska. Lowers his shoulder and picks up maybe 3 more.
Another big third down coming up for Stephenville. This offense hadn't slowed down much. Midlothian gets a stop there. And a punt didn't come away with any points, but they've got to make sure that they keep them out of the end zone going into the half.
3rd down and 4 here. They've got to get right to the 30-yard stripe to pick up the first. Down to a $113 and moving. Lambert rolling near side. Nice throw on the money for Topher. Foster makes the grab and picks up the first down.
Man, Topher Foster is so good. Coming across that coverage, running a crossing route, and keeping the chains moving.
Down to a minute to work with here in this first half. The scoreboard in-house does not show how many timeouts Stephenville has remaining. I don't recall them using one. I know Heritage has used 2. That is showing on the scoreboard, but Stephenville's timeout count not showing. They haven't used one yet, of course, on this drive. I don't recall Stephenville calling a timeout, so I believe they have all 3 still.
No, you're right, Mike, and then they do a good job of getting out of bounds and stopping the clock on that wheel route.
2nd down and 4. 46 seconds here for Lambert to work with. Quick throw near side. Nice grab again by Topher Foster. This kid has got a set of hands.
Really does. That's back. That's kind of back behind him. Great concentration and tracking on that ball.
Do stay with us here at halftime on Friday Night Football. We will bring you the show from the bands here at Midlothian ISD Multipurpose Stadium. Lambert flush forward in the pocket. Last thing he wanted to do there was go down within the field of play, as that clock will keep moving. Now Stephenville will burn a timeout. 23 seconds left here in the first half.
And you saw Noah O'Neal kind of guessing. You see a guy like Ryder Lambert coming at you. You've seen him run around defenders all day. You got to do a good job of getting him down.
Timeout called by Stephenville. Again, we will have the show from both bands here at halftime. The Stephenville High School Yellow Jacket Band under the direction of Michael Childs, and the Heritage High School Jaguar Band under the direction of Rich Bonner. That is coming up here on halftime on Friday Night Football. 28-14 our score. The #1 team in the state, the defending champions in 4A Division I, the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, on the strength of 4 Ryder Lambert touchdowns. In control here as we approach halftime, trying to add maybe 3, maybe 7 more points here in the final few seconds of this half.
Yeah, Ryder Lambert is looking to score. And this is what these quarterbacks, senior quarterbacks like this, 25 seconds, all of you with 2 timeouts left. I'm assuming that that's what they have. He's going to play with a bunch of tempo and try and at least get some points on the board before they go in for halftime.
In his own 49, pressured again. This time gets away, looks up the sideline, has Peyton Poston. He couldn't hang on to it. It was an awkward adjustment on the ball, and he just couldn't quite squeeze it.
But just look at Ryder Lambert. Even with the pressure on him, he's keeping his eyes up the field. Man, you don't understand how hard that is for a young quarterback. Guys don't get that until, second, third year of college.
Mm-hmm. And he's slippery back there,
yeah,
man. He is tough to take down.
I mean, Mike, he's got a lot of footsteps and people falling around him, and he's still concentrating on his receivers.
19 seconds to work with. Now 3rd down and a dozen. Quarterback draw. A lot of space here for Lambert. Don't let him get to the outside. Inside the 35-yard line, immediately bangs a timeout. And it's going to be a fresh set of downs here for the Yellow Jackets offense.
9 seconds left, and you know he's going to take a shot at the end zone.
I wasn't certain he wasn't going to get the space there for a moment.
When you complete as many yards as he did last season, 4,200 yards, 52 touchdowns. But looking at the tape of him against LBJ in the state title, it was his athleticism, his feet that really kind of stuck out to me. I'm like, look, people are just trying to peg this guy as a pocket passer. He is not just that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, if you've got that kind of athleticism to get outside and do what he just did on that play, that is dangerous all over the place. It's so interesting to me. He does not have a Division I scholarship offer. How is that possible?
That's okay. It's coming.
Oh, I have to imagine it's coming, but
that's okay.
It's not like he was some secret a year ago.
No. I think for the most part, I mean, look, you be making a big-time mistake if you don't bring in a kid like Ryder Lambert. He has all of the tools. And I'm telling you, just his eyes and his feet and how calm he is in the pocket is enough. I mean, this is special.
He's got 9 seconds to work with here. 1 timeout remaining. And 1st and 10 from the 33. Lambert. Quick throw near side, just stepping out of bounds. That's not going to get you much. They're actually going to say it was incomplete. They're going to say that Foster stepped out of bounds before he got a foot in bounds with possession. So an incomplete pass and 4 seconds to work with.
Yeah, 4 seconds kind of is an eternity for Lambert, but you know he's gonna take a shot into the end zone. So for Midlothian, they got to back all the way out and don't allow anything easy for him. But then you have to be worried about him doing something with his feet as well. So I don't know how you play this with this kid because he is special.
You have to imagine Peyton Poston is the primary target here. Although with the hands we've seen from Topher Foster, that seems like a good option too here if you're trying to toss up a Hail Mary.
Yeah, and you got to understand too, like Tristan Gentry, what you would believe would be the faster of the receivers that they have, went out with an elbow or shoulder injury, and they hadn't missed a beat.
Yeah. 5 times Stephenville has had possession. This is their 6th tonight. 4 touchdowns, the 1 punt on a series that they started deep in their own territory, and a couple penalties doomed that possession. But they have been very, very effective tonight on the offensive side of the ball, and looking to see if they can't come up with a strike here right before halftime. 3 wides to the top of the formation here for Ryder Lambert. They'll flood that side of the field. Lambert steps up, heaves end zone. One-on-one. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Stephenville. Peyton Poston with his third touchdown grab of the half on the Hail Mary. There was a hand fight down there between Poston and the Heritage DB, but I think that's absolutely the right call. Poston has possession there, and then Figueroa, after the play is effectively over, comes in and rips the ball out, but Poston made that catch.
Mike, I'm never at a loss for words, but that is a wow play right there. I mean, he was going to take a shot into the end zone. Everybody knows it, but look at this, man. Again, keeping his eyes up the field, and he delivers a strike to Peyton Poston that comes underneath his man. And I won't say that is the nail in the coffin right there, but boy, that's as close as it gets.
Stephenville's offense, 35 points in the first half. Ryder Lambert accounting for all 5 touchdowns. 3 of his passing touchdowns to Peyton Poston, and they lead by 3 scores on the road at halftime of the opener on Friday Night Football.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
Your score at halftime. The Stephenville Yellow Jackets, #1 in the state and defending champions in 4A Division I, and looking like it tonight against Midlothian Heritage on the road. So we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Midlothian ISD's multi-purpose stadium. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back with you here at halftime on Friday Night Football, and what a first half performance from Ryder Lambert and the Stephenville Yellow Jackets.
Sometimes you got to recognize when you're in the presence of greatness. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Ryder Lambert. This guy is incredible. And we're watching something special. Talk about someone that hadn't received any D1 offers. Man, this kid is putting on a display and showing why he deserves it.
5 combined touchdowns from Ryder Lambert, 4 through the air, 1 on the ground. 3 of his passing touchdowns going to Peyton Poston, who had a monster first half.
Now, we were talking earlier about who's going to get that production from Coy Eakin. Peyton Poston is doing exactly that. He comes right in. He does his job. Man, and look, that touchdown right there at the end of the first half, man, that really kind of sealed the deal. Let's see where they go from here. I don't know if it can get any better than this.
Take a look at the first half stats for these two football teams, and certainly no real surprise to see that Stephenville has the better of it so far. 350 combined yards of offense for the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, far and away outpacing Midlothian Heritage thus far. 20 first downs, another key piece of the storyline for Stephenville as well. They have just had the better of play here through 24 minutes of football.
Yeah, that first down, that's making the difference right there. And, I mean, that can't be overstated. And to begin the second half, they're going to have to try and find a way to steal back some of that momentum. That 20-6, that won't get you anywhere. And they pretty much hogged that whole first half. And for Midlothian, their defense, I mean, they just couldn't get off the field or get a stop.
Midlothian Heritage offensively saw a nice first half from Jason Barella, their running back. Had a couple of nice plays both in the run game and in the pass game. But they need to get something going offensively and in a hurry here as they have possession to start the second half.
Yeah, you would have liked, and you called it. You said, look, they're going to get the ball at the beginning of the second half. Can they get a split? Score at the end of the first and then come right back in the second and get a score and put themselves back in pole position in this game. Didn't happen. We saw that long sack that was taken by Caden Brown, and it was, look, unfortunate on his side. It's a learning experience for him. He won't do that again, but that was really kind of was the change in that first half and opened the gate then for Lambert to get that score at the end.
Especially considering the timing of that play, because you're coming right off of the first defensive stop of the day for Midlothian Heritage. Yeah. You got the fortuitous bounce on the punt to have fantastic field position at the plus 24-yard line. You're thinking, all right, here comes Midlothian Heritage. That sack just completely changed the tenor of that moment for the Jaguars, and now they're a little bit on their heels starting off this second half down 3 scores. They need to find something quick.
Yeah, and you know what? And for offensively, they've got to get some long drives to go their way. Being down by this much, they just got to get some scores on the board, get it quickly. But defensively, they've got to try and come up with the formula to get some stops versus Ryder Lambert, because he's having it his way.
It will be Stephenville to kick it away to start off this second half. Diego Chavarria has been busy this evening. 5 extra points, and in addition to that, he and Carson Sanford have been kicking it away quite a bit. Sanford out there to kick it away this time. He has, at least through the first half of play, tended to kick it about to the 4, 5, 6 yard line. So that has given Heritage an opportunity to get into their return game, and they're very good in that space. We'll see if the Jaguars can do something with it here.
And we've been giving them credit special teams wise on a lot of the things that they've done, but they've needed some big plays to go their way on not only offensively but in the special team. They've had their moments, but just not able to crack anything.
TJ Pride this time taken down from behind, got bottled up by his own blockers, and the Yellow Jackets coverage team there to cut him off.
Yeah, they're looking for those opportunities, but still the Yellow Jackets staying in their lanes and not allowing for a big play to be made by TJ Pride.
So here comes Caden Brown and company. Again, trying in vain to make something happen here and get back in this football game.
Well, they got to get right back behind Jason Barella. We saw some of those strong runs that he made. He was really a part of when they stole some of the momentum. When he had that big play, he was trucking some guys that came right back out and got a score, but then they go away from him. He actually take him off the field.
3 wides to the near side, quick throw and a big hit. Making the catch there is Xavier Moten, but he got punished for it.
Goodness gracious, man, that is getting yourself wrapped around a phone booth, a phone pole right there, man. Brad Beatty closing out and getting a monster hit. That's highlight reel material.
The senior free safety laying some lumber. Did pick up 7 on the play, though, did Moten, and now enough for a first down there as the leg drive from Mason O'Neill moves the chains.
They've been getting a really good push on their offensive line, when they decide to run the ball, but it's just been the penalties and getting themselves behind the sticks where they have to rely on some passes. They hadn't been able to get it, and then they end up turning the ball over, having to punt. So let's see what they do. They pick up a first down. This is important.
Ball sits right at the 30-yard stripe here for the Heritage Jaguars offense. Quick throw far side. That's Moten. Had some space there and some scoots across the 40-yard line. Another first down.
Man, I love that from Moten. Look at him splitting the defenders on this screen, recognizing the block on the outside, but that is really important. You recognize they're trying to squeeze you in, but when you split those defenders and pick up that extra yards, that's exactly what they needed. And you got to credit right now Caden Brown coming back with that laser focus.
And Heritage coming out with some pace offensively, too. Seems like they're maybe trying to change that element of the game as well. Maybe wear down this defense. Undercut right at the line of scrimmage is Mason O'Neal. Looked like it was Hudson Westbrook who made the tackle.
Yes, Hudson Westbrook. He submarines in and trips up number 17. That is a tackle that had to be made, and they get it.
Officially no gain on the play. And second down and 10. Two wides to either side here for Caden Brown. Straight drop. Flush forward in the pocket and swallowed up. He's able to get back past the line of scrimmage. Good fight there from Brown to make sure it doesn't go down officially as a sack. But Jack Barkley there to make the play.
Yeah, and Caden Brown, he does a good job. And you see right there, he has the pressure on him, and immediately as a playmaker, he wants to tuck and run. On the opposite side with Ryder Lambert, when he sees that, he does. He continues to keep his feet active and keep his eyes up the field. That's what I'm saying. That's really special, and that differentiates those quarterbacks when you see it.
Third down and 7 as a result. 3 down linemen here from Stephenville. They'll only rush 3. Still flush to the near side, though, is Brown. Going to try and run for it. Cuts back up field, but he will not get the first down. He thought he was still on his feet, trying to argue that the play's still alive, but they're going to mark him down at the 49-yard line, and it will be 4th down and 3.
And then Caden, he cuts it back in, but he really should have tried to race to the sticks on the outside. Don't know if the guy had an angle on him or not, but this is a big-time 4th down.
This is indicative of the pressure of the moment. The Stephenville Yellow Jackets offense has been so effective today. They know they can't punt the ball back to them down 3 scores, because then they'll just be down 4 scores, odds are, with how good Stephenville has been today. So they're going to hand it off to Barella, trying to get to the outside. Cuts back up field, but taken down in the backfield. Brad Beatty finished him off. Good pursuit from the Yellow Jackets defense, and they get the turnover on down.
Man, and the flip side of that is that you give this ball back to Stephenville at the 48-yard line, something you probably did not want to do. That's how imperative that first down was because of the field position. So you're really putting yourself even further behind the 8 ball when you don't get that first down.
So here comes Ryder Lambert smelling blood in the water. 5 of the 6 drives today for Stephenville have ended in touchdowns, including the Hail Mary right at the end of the first half. All 5 touchdowns accounted for by Ryder Lambert. And he comes out with 2 wides to the right side. Little pump and go, looking for the jugular up the sideline, just too far for his intended target. He was looking for number 4 to Peyton Poston.
Man, and that's one of those ones that Ryder Lambert doesn't miss much. But that's one of the ones. He threw one at the beginning of the game where he missed, and he comes right back in the beginning of the second half, and he misses another one. But you talk about that chum that's in the water for Lambert. You can tell he is definitely feeling it.
Stoppage here is, that's Tate Maruska, the stud running back for Stephenville, not able to put any weight on that right leg. That is a significant concern for Sterling Doty and the Yellow Jackets, as he is carried off the field.
That's not a guy that you want to miss because of his running ability. He is just so good and patient. We've seen that from him running behind that big offensive line. really uncanny. These guys are really well coached, and you could see it on both sides of the ball. You talk about special teams for Midlothian, but on the offense for Stephenville, their offensive line, their running backs, man, they play so good, play within themselves.
Lambert's going to keep it himself here and pick up maybe 4 on the play. It's obviously been Lambert that has done the job in terms of scoring tonight for Stephenville, but Tate Maruska has been instrumental in their moving the football down the field. 17 carries for 101 yards in that first half. That is a big deal if he's not only gone for tonight, but you wonder when you see a guy get carried off like that what the time frame might be for you hope it's only a tonight injury. Yeah, and I'm looking at him over there on the sideline. He's down, and you know what I think it is? I think it's cramps. Really, because of the heat, and really you saw it with Ryder Lambert when he came up from that last run. He went back and he was trying to have and they're showing him right there. That's what that is, and that's cramping, and that's the heat, man. First game for both of these teams. They've been scrimmaging, right? They've been scrimmaging, having inter-squad play. This is the first time you have to play for 4 quarters. I know the coaches and everybody else, the medical staff is telling you, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. You get out in situations like this all across the state of Texas. I'm telling you, Mike, these guys are cramping up. That is about as good a sign as possible to see him having that calf worked on. You hope that is indeed just a cramp, and that certainly looks like what is happening over there on the sideline as he gets worked on by their athletic training staff. So as concerning as it was to see him carried off the field, that's a very good sign. And that's easy for us to say sitting up here in the air conditioning. Granted. Right? I would have a full-on body cramp out in this heat right now. And it's a little swampy, you know, for Friday night football in Texas. Not as hot as it usually is. It's still August, and it's 80 degrees, but the humidity. Back out of the timeout, 3rd down and 6, quick throw right side. I beg your pardon, they did hand it off. Good job by Lambert to fake me out, even with the little Brett Favre after he hands it off, fake throw. The handoff goes up the middle, but nothing doing for Caden Henderson, and it'll be 4th down and 4. He really is a magician with the ball in his hands, and you know, we can't say enough about Coach Doty and what he was saying about him and his high IQ, but he's like a magician with the ball. I mean, he has to make decisions really quickly with this RPO offense, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, as we've seen here tonight. So credit to the Heritage defense. When they really needed one, they've come up with a stop here. And they forced the punt. Peyton Poston out there to punt it away. TJ Pride standing at his own 1-yard line awaiting this punt. High end-over-end punt coming toward the near sideline and will go out of bounds. The Heritage staff trying to tell the officials it was at the 22-yard line. We'll see where they actually mark it out of bounds. They're walking up. They're still coming. They're going to say the 18-yard line. Just field judge, just to spite you, I'll stop about 4 yards short of where you were standing. James Hale, the field judge tonight. A little discussion, though, here after the play for referee Ron McLean. I didn't see any flags. No. Oh, there he is. I'm sorry, you're right. There is one on the far side, and wouldn't that be a huge turn of events here? And the Stephenville offense celebrating on the far side. I think they're coming back on the field right now. Oh, that's got to drive Coach Edwards crazy. We'll get the signal here from Rod McLean. So it's not going to give the football back to Stephenville, as you heard him say at the front end there after the play. It is, though, a personal foul against Midlothian Heritage, so that's going to take the ball from the 18, drop it all the way back to the 9-yard line. So what was already not great field position, now bad field position for Midlothian Heritage to start this possession. But just to know that you get Ryder Lambert on the sideline drinking Gatorade for Coach Edwards, I'm telling you, man, you wipe a little sweat off your brow right there, because if that goes against you, you give him the ball back, and then he's advancing up to about the 25. I mean, he's been pretty automatic from being close. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the best part of that penalty right there for Midlothian Heritage was after the play, and they keep possession of the football. Here comes Caden Brown after he fakes the handoff, bang down at the 15-yard line. Hudson Westbrook with the tackle.
And I like that run from Caden Brown, just getting him back in rhythm. He's an athlete. He is an athlete, and trying to peg him as anything other than that is you know, playing yourself short. You got to give him an opportunity to get in rhythm, and they did that initially at the beginning of the second half, getting a little bit of rhythm and getting him out in space.
He faked the toss, and maybe they would have rather toss it out there to Jason Barella because nowhere to go. And a little extracurriculars there for Caden Brown and Kyler Udy, as Udy tried to fight for the football in the aftermath of that play. That ball did come out.
It did. And luckily for Caden Brown, he's able to get back on top of it, and he went down awkwardly. See, his leg gets stuck underneath him, but man, he bounces right back up. Those young legs and joints, man.
I think he was down before that ball came out, so the hand fight after the fact was all for naught, but it does set up 3rd down and 8 here for Midlothian Heritage. Brown with 3 wide receivers to his left. Flushed forward, now cycles back to his own 2-yard line, trying to run away. Now turns and fires downfield, has a man behind the defense. There is a flag down, another flag down, as they sent it deep looking for Sam Hopkins, and that's going to lead to an automatic 1st down here for the Heritage offense.
And I mean, it's hard to pick up plays like that over and over, but man, for Caden Brown, he's got to rely on his legs to get him out of that situation, and he throws it. And luckily, just luckily, they throw a flag, and that's going to continue this drive for Midlothian. They needed something to go their way, Mike.
They get the flag. I mean, hey, listen, sometimes, especially in that situation where it's 3rd and 8, throw it up and see what happens, and it works out for them. So a fresh set of downs at the 27-yard line here for Caden Brown. 5:17, 3rd quarter. Barella with the handoff. Fights his way through the arm tackles for 4 yards on the play. Arredondo got him first, and he wasn't able to go much farther.
Yeah, this defense has just had to play solid. It really hadn't made a lot of plays, but just getting stops has been good enough for them and getting their offense back on the field. And so far, we hadn't had any turnovers.
Not a one from either of these two teams. 2nd down and 6. Barella with the handoff. Nowhere to go. Coming through to lead the charge for the Yellow Jackets defense is Wesley Griffin.
Look at number 44, Wesley Griffin. 6'3", 245. A big presence in the middle. He's going to stop that Jason Barella. We talked about him not missing leg day. He's a guy that's going to take that contact and keep his legs pumping. But when you got a guy 6'3", 245 on you, don't matter. Your momentum is going to be carried back.
Sets up 3rd down and 7. They've got to get to the 37-yard line. Barella will walk behind Brown here. 3 wide receivers stacked to the near side. Quick throw, but defended very well by Stephenville. There to knock it away for the Yellow Jackets defense is P.D. Peak.
Yeah, P.D. read that perfectly on the outside and comes up and gets a stop. And finally, the Jaguars in a situation where they have to punt this ball away.
So back comes Barella to punt it once again. Again, 11 fake punts a year ago. None tonight. You'd think down 21 might be a time where you want to try it, but 4th and 8 this deep in your own territory, not an advantageous situation.
No, not a gamble that I think Coach Edwards wants to take in this situation, especially with the way, with the guy that you have on the other side. You just don't want to make it that easy for Ryder Lambert. But it just looks, Ryder Lambert is making everything look easy. So
Fifth meeting tonight between these two teams. They've met each of the last 5 straight seasons now. Stephenville got their first win in the series a year ago, 38-27. That was a weird football game. Yellow Jackets outgained 415 yards to 227 yards, but you talked about the turnovers that we have not seen tonight. We saw quite a few of them last year. Stephenville never turned it over. Heritage had 3, 2 of them that went for scores, a pick 6 and a scoop and score. And just as I say that, that ball was dangerous and in the direction of Midlothian Heritage's Rylan Figueroa. But those 2 turnovers that went back for touchdowns last year for Stephenville, instrumental in them getting that 38-27 win when these two teams were part of the same district the last 2 years. Prior to that, though, Heritage had won each of the first 3 meetings. 42-27 back in 2020, 33-29 in 2019, and 26-21 the first time they played in 2018. Quick throw here to Titus Russell, but undercut neatly by Solomon Hopkins, and a gain of just 2.
And good tackle by Solomon Hopkins, recognizing that he's man on man and he has to get this guy down. Takes his legs out.
And this is the one thing that if you are Eric Edwards and you've got kids within your program that remember the history of this matchup, I have to imagine at halftime he may have pointed to that 2019 game as that throw goes far side, too tall for Poston, and it's a 3-and-out here for Stephenville. In 2019, Stephenville led that game at halftime 29-6. Midlothian Heritage came back and scored 20. Let me do my math correctly here. 27 unanswered points in the second half. Cade Sumbler had 5 combined touchdowns, and they came all the way back and won that game 33-29. There's only 15 minutes left in this football game to make up this 21-point deficit, but if you're Eric Edwards, you got to be pointing to that like, hey guys, we've done it. Let's go do it again.
So you're saying there's a chance?
They came after that punt as well. Very nearly got to it. No flag down. Now TJ Pride trying to make something of it on the back end. Gets out the back door. TJ Pride across the 20. TJ Pride across the 30. Gimped his way out of bounds. I think otherwise he would have tried to keep going there. He came up a little bit gimpy at the back end of that play. But a big play in special teams on both ends from Midlothian Heritage. And there you see the limp from TJ Pride. That's important because he's a key piece for them offensively and in special teams.
How did he get out of that? I mean, they look like there's 3, 4, 5 guys right there that he is able to escape. And the cramp monster got him. Like you said, if that hadn't happened, he's the whole
another
side.
10 yards anyway, yeah.
He has the whole side to pick up some more yardage, but I have no idea how he got away from those defenders.
So Heritage, if you're going to start your comeback, now would be the time. Quick throw near side for Barella. 1-on-2 and nowhere to go. 1-on-2 became 1-on-4 real fast, and he's taken down for a loss of a yard.
And that drives coaches crazy. For Barella, I mean, you have to just be decisive with the ball. You have 2 guys coming at you. Try and split them. Don't try and go on the outside. You don't have numbers.
Mm-hmm. It also makes you wonder, was a block missed there somewhere along the way? Because I can't imagine they drew it up that they would want that to be a 1-on-2 situation. And
well, you know, they have that spread offense. They're trying to get their playmakers on the outside and create a disadvantage because they've realized they think that they have the speed.
A little option pitch fake there by Brown. And he's able to lower his shoulder and get back to the 34-yard line.
Good job by Brown. I was completely faked out. I thought Mason O'Neal had the ball, but Brown able to come away and pick up some yards.
Sets up 3rd down and 6.
And it just feels like 3rd down gets to the Jaguars a lot faster than the other team, right?
They have been swimming upstream all night tonight. 2 backs behind Caden Brown. Now O'Neal will motion out to the left. 4 wide receivers in the formation. Fakes the handoff to Barella. Now he'll follow Barella up the hole. Into the second level. Caden Brown across midfield. Caden Brown cutting back. Flag behind the play. Caden Brown dragging tacklers all the way down inside the 5. He fumbled the football. Heritage pounces on top of it in the end zone. O'Neal recovered it. It'll go down as a touchdown for a moment, but a hold is going to bring all of this back as a flag sits at the 41-yard line.
And what an athletic play by Caden Brown. And I'm looking for the flag. They get a crack back, block in the back. And that's one of those, man, where everybody's trying to get in on the act and get Caden Brown out. That's unfortunate because that's a great run by Caden Brown, something that this team needed just to feel good about themselves.
A tremendous individual effort from Caden Brown. And then credit to Mason O'Neal following up the play. Otherwise, if you're Stephenville, you probably take the result of the play and, hey, give us the football. But it's all going to come back. It will be a personal foul, a legal blindside block, according to our referee, Rod McLean. And that's going to bring the ball all the way back to the 44-yard line. It will be a fresh first down here for Midlothian Heritage. But one more look at this play from Caden Brown, because this was special.
That's a block in the back. And look, okay, I'm just saying, I've seen some crackback blocks in my time. It just looked like a routine block in the back, but either way, it's going to bring it back.
Barella motions out, 5 wide receiver set. Brown pump fakes, pushed backward, able to get outside the pocket, tries to fire it over the middle, but well short of his intended target, Moten.
And what a run. That was, I'm still kind of, that was really an athletic play by Caden Brown. Man, you hate to see that.
A mystifyingly athletic run by Caden Brown, but it gets brought back by the flag. And to your point, it didn't look that egregious. Probably still a block in the back, probably still a penalty, probably still should be negated, but
not a crackback block. Personal foul nature. I mean,
right, yeah.
So, and maybe they're calling it different. I just, I didn't see it, but either way, I think athletically, that's one of the most athletic plays that you've seen Caden Brown make in this game, and it shows you how special he is. I talked about him and his rhythm, getting in rhythm on this offense that hadn't had much of it. They've relied so much on a big play to get points on the board, and when those are at a premium like tonight, you need plays like that to go in your favor, and to have that go against you with the penalty is just indicative of the night that they've had. And they've dug themselves a hole in a lot of ways and just hadn't been able to get out of their own way.
The timeout called there by Midlothian Heritage. Eric Edwards and company trying to just regroup and figure out, okay, go make something happen here still on this drive. It's 2nd and 10. You've still got everything in front of you. You very clearly just showed the ability to make a big play. Go make another one.
And maybe defensively they figured something out. I think that's one of that last drive by Stephenville. You saw a couple of misses by Ryder Lambert. I don't know if they've changed up anything from a coverage standpoint, because they were in man pretty much that entire first half. But we saw Ryder Lambert make some throws in the beginning of that drive that we just hadn't seen a miss on many.
Out of the timeout, it'll be 2nd and 10. Stetson Surratt motioning into the formation. They'll hand off for Barella. Bounced backward immediately and then tripped up. And a big loss on the play. They'll mark it at the 38-yard line, and coming through to make the tackle there for this Stephenville defense was it Kyler Udy once again getting in the backfield, the safety.
Yeah, that's Udy, number 3. That's one of the things I have really admired about number 3. When he sees that run coming his way, he just sails out. He doesn't, it doesn't tiptoe to the line of scrimmage. He sails out, and he's going to take on an offensive lineman, a tight end, whoever it is that's in his way to create that pile. And he's done that several times. You saw it right there.
3rd down and 17 for Caden Brown. Blitz off the edge. Gets away from it, at least for the moment. Flips it out to Barella, and Barella's got green space in front of him. Up the sideline, spins out of a tackle, did step on the sideline, but got back almost all of that yardage and sets up a much different decision here on 4th down and what'll be, it looks like a yard.
So you got 4th and 1. For Midlothian. I like to say that this should be the easiest 1 yard that they could pick up today, but nothing has come easy for the Jaguars.
Barella with the handoff. They've got the 1 yard and then some, and they move the chains. 1st and 10, Midlothian Heritage.
Got to get some points on the board.
That'll be the final play of quarter number 3. Not a point on the board in the 3rd. Midlothian Heritage driving for what they hope is a score that makes this a football game in the final period. We'll see you in the 4th on Friday Night Football.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
The 4th quarter in the season opener on Friday Night Football. Stephenville with a 35-14 lead on Midlothian Heritage. The Jaguars, though, with possession, and head coach Eric Edwards, his offensive coordinator Ryan Smith, trying to make sure that they capitalize Heckma Harrison on this drive.
Yeah, they have to. And you talk about the last meeting that they had and them coming back from behind. You know, I'm not saying that we're gearing up for that kind of comeback, Mike. I'm not going to do that to us, all right? But what I am saying is just having some respect for the program and just making it close, because they hadn't been that far away. I mean, Ryder Lambert has just put on displays, putting on a show right now, but offensively they just hadn't got a lot of things to go their way, and right now they need it.
They've got 3 wide receivers stacked to the near side. Caden Brown's going to take it himself on the quarterback draw, but again there to cut it off. Rafay Rajani making the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard.
And this has been a battle of the trenches. If you like trench football, this has been awesome. And both of these teams haven't given up much. I mean, even for the Jaguars, they've been really tough, but it's been in those passing downs that, look, they've allowed some of the pressure to get to Brown.
2nd down and 9, Barella with the handoff. Only enough space to pick his way for maybe 3 more. Down to the 37-yard line, it'll be 3rd down. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button here on the WFA YouTube channel, as we will bring you a high school football game every Friday night through the season. We actually are off for week 2, but we'll be back for a special Saturday edition the following week as DeSoto hosts South Oak Cliff, 2 of the best programs in DFW, squaring off on Saturday, September 10th. Quick throw near side, Xavier Moten with some blocking in front of him, and he will indeed have just enough for the 1st down at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, I want everybody to tune in for that week 2 game. See you come back, man. You're going to be a little bit tanned when we see you again. Tell the people now. Come on, we're going to be here all year. We got to as well get used to it.
So a week from tonight is September 2nd. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be here. There's nowhere I enjoy being more during the fall than doing Friday Night Football. But it is my 35th birthday, and my wife said, we're going to Cancun for your birthday. And that's not an argument that I'm going to have with her. Let's go, babe. Why not? So we'll be back for week 3 of the high school football season. We'll take you the rest of the way from there, I promise you.
Nice and tan. That's all right, man. I want to be a stowaway. Take me with you, please. Golly. But I'm going to hold it down, man. I can't wait till we get back. And, boy, do we have a game to look forward to.
DeSoto South Oak Cliff should be real fun. 2nd down and 6 here. Heritage threatening for the first time since the opening half. down to the 26-yard line in Stephenville territory. Surratt in motion. Handoff O'Neal. Picking his way up the left side, and that will be enough for a first down as well. So the Jaguars starting to make some progress here.
Yeah, and I love that those two change of pace backs that they have. And really, you know what, it's people like to use the saying, you know, thunder and lightning running backs, but when you have two guys that both weigh 160, it's just lightning and lightning, right? It's not like you have the bigger back. He would be the thunder if he's 200 pounds.
Yeah, it's hard to call anybody thunder when you're $160.
Right.
Caden Brown looking near side, try to hit the honey hole, and a nice play to get his hand on the football. Reaching up to break it up is Hayden Keith.
Well, Hayden Keith makes the play of his life right there. Like you said, he's trying to fit it in the honey hole in between two defenders, but Keith from behind sees that, tracks that ball really well, gets his hand up, and nice deflection.
Sam Hopkins, the intended target there for Heritage, and just that close to a touchdown that would have made this a two-score game. 2nd and 10 now for Brown. Surratt again, the man in motion, trips to the left. Fake to Barella, throw near side for Moten. Gets up the seam, and Moten will score. 21 yards for the touchdown, and Heritage with some life.
And Mike, you love to see it. Look at Moten getting it out on the outside and splitting the defenders. That's what I was talking about before. You want to make sure you get between those guys, and Moten's got to watch that as he waves at the defender as he goes into the end zone. The referee sees that, man, they will call that unsportsmanlike, and Coach Edwards would be all over him for that, but it didn't happen. So we'll forget it.
As a result, it is a two-score game. On for the PAT is Dylan Riggins. That one clangs off the upright, but through. 35-21 the tally. Xavier Moten finding a crease and finding pay dirt, and Midlothian Heritage says we're not done yet. A two-score game in the 4th on Friday Night Football.
I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
But just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Back in Midlothian and perhaps Heckma Harrison, we may have ourselves a football game here in the 4th. Heritage finding a score, the first tally here in the 2nd half. And it is a 2-touchdown game with 9:13 to play in the final frame.
I won't say that you spoke it into existence, but you made a mention.
That 2019 game, Heritage came back to win it 33-29 as the kick there from Riggins goes for a touchback. They were down 29-6 at halftime, scored 27 unanswered in the 2nd half to come back and win that football game. They have got quite the uphill climb still in front of them, but a step closer now after Xavier Moten's 21-yard touchdown reception.
Yeah, and you love the don't quit attitude of the Jaguars, and they've been playing it. We've talked about them not getting any turnovers. It's been the self-inflicted wounds that they've had in this game, just digging a hole. But finally, just by chipping away at it and playing good defense, they find themselves back in this game.
It really makes you wonder, if not for that Hail Mary at the very final, on the very final play of the first half.
That's a great point.
How different does this game look right now?
That is a great point, Mike.
I think there's a lot of people here in Midlothian that would tell you it should be a 7-point game right now with 9:13 to play. Looks like Stephenville's going to have to burn a timeout here before they even snap the football. Are they going to call the delay a game, or are they going to grant them the timeout? They're just going to call the delay a game.
Because I think that they've already taken a timeout in this half. So
Now, we still don't have the in-house scoreboard revealing any timeouts for Stephenville. You see the scoreboard you're seeing on your screen here on Friday Night Football is fed by the in-house scoreboard. They have the 2 timeouts listed for Midlothian Heritage. I can tell you with a good deal of confidence, Stephenville has not taken all 3 of their timeouts, but nothing showing on the in-house scoreboard, and as a result, nothing showing on ours either. But I believe you're correct. They've taken 1 here in this second half.
And there's your guy, Tate Maruska, is back on the field, so that's a good sign.
Although now Stephenville has another player on the deck. It's not Maruska. He's surrounded by officials and training staff right now, haven't gotten a peek at the number just yet. It might be Topher Foster.
Yeah,
There's a 4.
Yeah, it's the cramp monster, boy. He is on the field. And so many guys, I'm telling you, Mike, all across Texas right now, if you could take a tally of how many guys are catching cramps right now, it'd be a lot. And you try and tell them, you know, to prepare yourself for the weather and the conditions. But when you have teams that haven't had real 4-quarter football, this is what you get. And it comes down to conditioning. And it's going to be a game of attrition as you have to play for 4 quarters in football. And right now it's going to come down to who's in the best shape.
It was Wyatt Kreitz, I should say, that was down on the field for Stephenville. Back on his feet now, a little bit of a limp, but certainly looked like, to your point again, dealing with a cramp and already starting to walk it off.
And those things are so painful. I mean,
yeah.
They are painful.
But after the loss there by Maruska, 2nd down and 13. I'm sorry, the gain of 2. It was the penalty that dropped him back the 5 yards. He gained 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 13 here for Ryder Lambert and company. He'll roll left, fire that way, wide open for the 1st down, and then some for the Stephenville offense is Ryan Gafford.
Yeah, Gafford just finding a hole, let out in between those defenders. And Ryder Lambert getting back in rhythm after a 3rd quarter that was pretty uneventful for this Yellow Jackets offense.
Fresh 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Stephenville with a 2-score lead and trying to melt some clock here now with this possession.
That's exactly what they're doing. But how big would it be for the Jaguars defense to get a stop, get the ball back, and get a score?
They need that to happen, but they also need that to happen quickly because they are still down the 2 scores. They're starting to run out of time. Still enough time at the moment, but it has to start creeping into the back of the mind of Eric Edwards now. 2nd down and 8, still 8 seconds left on the play clock, and Ryder Lambert content to let that continue to burn down a little closer. Finally snaps it with 1 on the play clock, fires far side, complete, breaking a tackle, 1st down. And it's Peyton Poston once again, who has very quickly evidently become Ryder Lambert's favorite target here in 2022.
And I don't blame him, because Peyton Poston is Mr. Johnny on the spot. Comes back for that catch and turns right back upfield, and Ryan Figueroa is kicking himself.
1st and 10. A little pump and go, nowhere to go with it. And Lambert has to throw it away. Heritage coaching staff trying to make a play for a flag here. A little body language between the line judge and the referee, and they're going to at least talk this over.
Yeah, well, he did not have a receiver out to that side. Well, no, I see number 2.
That's who the line judge was just pointing to, was Carson Sanford. Another look at it here. He definitely didn't leave the tackle box. No question of that. That ball did get back to the line of scrimmage, so that answers that piece of the puzzle, but they are going to drop the flag as there was nobody in the immediate vicinity. Sanford evidently not close enough for the likings of Rod McLean, and they are going to drop the flag for intentional grounding.
Good job of Edwards and staff of selling that penalty.
They immediately were in the ear of our line judge tonight, Rusty Bowden. It is indeed intentional grounding against Ryder Lambert. That's going to bring the ball back to the 46-yard line in Stephenville territory. And it's going to be second down on about 17.
It's a big penalty.
Especially as it relates to Heritage's effort to try and get the football back. That's a big help. Handoff Maruska. Knifing through to make the tackle after a couple of yards there for Midlothian Heritage.
And Maruska is hydrated still, back in the game and breaking tackles, but not good enough to get back to the sticks.
Chris Robinson, the one who came through and made that tackle, the sophomore safety that works in a platoon with Ryan Satterwhite at that safety position. Really nice play there. And it's third down and 14. 7 minutes to work with here for Midlothian Heritage. Ryder Lambert letting that clock continue to bleed. 6 on the play clock. Finally snaps it at about 3 seconds on the play clock. Looking over the middle into traffic, but the catch is made, and it's Peyton Poston again, right at the sticks. He's just a hair shy.
Great concentration from Peyton Poston and great ball delivery from Lambert. I don't know how I mean, the coverage was excellent for Figueroa. I don't know how much closer you have to play that.
And now quickly back to the line of scrimmage. He fumbled the ball, but he's able to get it back. It's
Ball's
still
out.
loose. Immediately Heritage signaling it's their ball. The officials are going to have to sort this one out. You said it earlier, no turnovers in this game. I just saw somebody reach their hand up and hold the ball in the air. Who was it?
We just saw an arm. We don't know.
Yeah, there was no no jersey, just an arm. Whose ball? Yellow Jackets ball, first down.
Oh man, that is the break that the Jaguars needed. And the ball is out. You see the beanbag come out signaling the fumble.
Yep.
Boy, did the Jaguars need that. 6 minutes and 17 seconds, man. Time is of the essence.
Just when you thought Heritage was going to be able to get the football back, instead, somehow, Stephenville converts on what was second and a mile. Fresh first down at the 36-yard line. Midway point of the fourth quarter. Maruska right up the gut. Maruska might be gone. Cuts back. I think his cutback may have actually hurt him. I think he had more space if he kept going straight forward. But Tate Maruska with a nice run inside the red zone and another first down for the Yellow Jackets.
And I don't know what Maruska is seeing, but you're right. If he just continues down the hash, he doesn't have to cut that back.
He saw Ryan Kosa, and I guess maybe he didn't think that he could outrun him, tried to cut back in front of him. Either way, a nice run, and it's first and 10 at the 15. Lambert. End zone wide open. There's the jugular right there. Peyton Poston again.
Man, a corner route from Peyton Poston. He executes this. Man, this is a master class in route running right now for Peyton Poston.
And with 5:19 here in the fourth, 41-21 the tally for the moment. The extra point from Chavarria is good. And Stephenville doubling up the Heritage Jaguars in the opener here on Friday Night Football. Flags after the play. Give you another look here at the touchdown pass from Lambert to Poston. And you see Figueroa on his knees in the end zone, just evidence of the route that Poston just ran.
Yeah, Poston ran that post corner route, and once he stuck it, it went back back outside. That's where Figueroa got tripped up, because he recognized that he was beat on the route immediately when he stuck his foot and went back outside.
So they'll sort out the flag here before they officially put the point on the board. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Stephenville. Penalty being forced on the kickoff. The try is good. 42-21, the score in favor of Stephenville. In control and very impressive in the opener tonight.
Yeah, and that's a long drive that they had to go, pretty far, even with the penalties, even with the stops from Stephenville, with Midlothian, the fumble that wasn't. So many things that could have gone the Jaguars' way just didn't. And so, man, they have plenty of tape to go back to and evaluate and look at some of the errors of their ways. But defensively, look, if they clean up some of those errors, they're going to compete in this division. But they just came up against a quarterback that had their number. And you know what? Ryder Lambert has everyone's number. So as though they did, we talked about that third quarter as first half and all the scores and nothing in the third. But Ryder Lambert showed you right there, he can do it when he's ready.
His 5th touchdown pass of the day, 4 of them to Peyton Poston. Lambert also ran for the 6th touchdown that Stephenville has today. A dominant performance from one of the very best quarterbacks in the state of Texas.
And like I said, you have to recognize when you're in the presence of something special, and he is definitely special. You talk about him not having any offers. That doesn't make any sense, but when you look at these numbers that he's putting up every Friday, this is video game stuff.
52 touchdown passes a year ago, 4,275 passing yards, good for 3rd in the country. As TJ Pride's got an awful lot of running room up the near sideline. Stutter steps across midfield and out of bounds in Stephenville territory. More flags after the play. This has gotten a little chippy here in the 4th quarter.
Talk about how well both of these teams know one another. So bragging rights at stake as well. Didn't see what the penalty was, but looks like they're going to signal it against Midlothian.
It's going to be a block in the back against Heritage.
What? Block in the back and not a crackback block? I thought they banned that.
Yeah. So here's a look at, you talked about the bragging rights at stake here. These programs, 2 coaching staffs that know each other very well. Stephenville's head coach Sterling Doty, Heritage head coach Eric Edwards. They both played at Stephenville. Doty was on the state championship teams under Art Briles in the late 90s. He graduated in 2001, played on the 98, 99, and 2000 teams. And Edwards was a ball boy on those teams, then went on to play himself in 06 and 07 at Stephenville. So these coaching staffs have known each other for a long time. They've enjoyed playing against one another each of the last now 5 seasons, including tonight. But Heritage got the better of it at the front end, won each of the first 3 games. Now Stephenville looking like they're about to put the finishing touches on a 2nd straight win in this matchup.
And I love that conversation that we had with Coach Doty, and he just sounds like a football coach. And I wanted him to say so badly that they have a bit of a hangover from celebrating their championship, and he would have none of it.
Nope.
It's like 21 days was all we gave ourselves, and we got right back to business. And you love to hear it because he knows how hard it is to repeat for a state title in Texas. Man, you have so many teams and so many good programs, and Stephenville is just one of them that has historically been good, and they've been able to find those players. But that special relationship that he has with Coach Edwards was on display when he talked about how their families know one another, and coming from that coaching lineage and how important it is for both of these guys. And so I love the relationship that they have, and the fact that they're playing each other week 1 Texas high school football, man, that just says it all.
That ball was on the deck there for Caden Brown. He was able to scramble back on top of it, but a loss of 3 on the play.
He's lucky to get that one back.
Looked like maybe some miscommunication between he and Jason Barella as to who was supposed to keep the football there on the read option. Sets up 2nd down and 13. Brown looking deep up the seam, but way overshoots Xavier Moten.
And you got to credit the Yellow Jackets knowing that at this point they're going to have to try and stretch the field and get something over the top. Those safeties were waiting on it.
Third down and 13 forthcoming. .321 to play here in the fourth. In the season opener here on Friday Night Football, Stephenville, the defending state champions in 4AD1, looking the part as preseason number 1. Brown's going to fire end zone again for Moten. Nice adjustment on the ball, and he's in. Touchdown Midlothian Heritage from 45 yards out on 3rd and 13.
Caden Brown with a special play on the outside to Xavier Moten. Moten already with 2 touchdowns in this game, but that is great concentration and ability to come back and make that catch and get the score.
They're going to go for 2 here, down 15. Barella's going to take the handoff and dive in. Cut the lead down to 13 at 42-29.
Things get a little interesting now.
Especially with a team like Midlothian Heritage that has the reputation that they do on special teams. They need a lot to go their way over the course of the next 3 minutes and 12 seconds, but that was the first link in the chain. Caden Brown to Xavier Moten for the second time here in this fourth quarter, and they cut the lead to 13.
So Micah, 3 minutes, 12 seconds in the fourth. You've got to know that the onside kick is coming, right? So you got to get
think so, yeah.
Hands team. It's important. This first game, your hands team's got to get out. You're going to get the ball in pretty good field position if you're Stephenville. An opportunity to ice the game. But if you don't get your guys on that ball, you're going to set the Jaguars up with some pretty good field position.
Yeah, then you've got a little bit of trouble. I love this, by the way. I'm pretty sure that quarterback Ryder Lambert is on the Stephenville hands team and making his way onto the field right now. He's just outside the frame at the moment, but he is a little deeper. He's certainly not your initial thrust of the hands team.
No.
But he's out there.
No, you keep him way in the back in case there's a squib kick. You know, he's the guy that definitely can get on the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't put him on that front line.
So here comes the kick from Riggins. They've got 6 on the near side for Midlothian Heritage. The bounding kick this way, high over Titus Russell, but a nice play to leap up and grab it by Stephenville's PD Peak.
Man, that was a perfect kick. It does exactly what you wanted to do for your hands team. It hits the ground and it bounces up high. That's a great job by PD Peak. That's harder than it looks, man. You got guys coming at you full speed and you got to concentrate. It's hard to simulate and practice that in real time, but it's a good job by Peak.
And Titus Russell, number 1 for Stephenville, was right there in the front, and that ball went bounding over his head, and you could just see the body language from him, just hopeless, watching that ball like, all right, somebody please in a gray jersey get that football.
Right.
And he was fortunate that his teammate was there to grab it. So here comes the Stephenville offense, again looking to kill time. Coming through for the tackle is Noah O'Neill. And now you have to wonder how Eric Edwards will utilize the 2 timeouts that he has left.
It doesn't look like he's going to use one here early. And that's a 4-yard gain. Bringing up 2nd and 6.
Still 14 seconds here on the play clock. Lambert can burn it down to about 2:25 before he has to snap the ball here. He's got Maruska to his left, and Maruska will get the handoff right up the gut. Pick up another 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2. No timeout yet from Eric Edwards. Again, they have 2 remaining. Julie Kennedy Munden in the comments says, hello from Kansas tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Folks from all over the country, all over the world tuning in. We were told before the game by the father of Elijah Mankins that they would have folks in Papua New Guinea watching over the course of whether it's tonight or maybe tomorrow, depending on how the time zones shake out for them. But
that's exactly what I was going to say. It's
people watching all over.
In a different time zone, maybe having coffee and watching some Texas high school football.
100 seconds to work with here. Maruska with the handoff, and that may put this one on ice. Now it absolutely will, as he breaks through and scores. Touchdown, Stephenville. What an opener for the defending champs.
And that run is all Maruska. Look at him, man. It's just, again, not stopping his legs, running through arm tackles, playing big and physical. And talk about him being patient. And you see right there those afterburners. He turned them on, and there's nobody going to catch him.
And credit to Tate Maruska, who has been such a key piece of what Stephenville has done offensively tonight, as the extra point is up and through off the foot of Chavarria. He had an awful lot of yardage all through the night. He deserved some pay dirt, and he said, you know what, I'm going to go find some all by my lonesome. Stephenville up 20 and on their way to 1-0 on Friday Night Football.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
The Stephenville Yellow Jackets in firm control as we wind down here the final 87 seconds of the season opener for Stephenville and Midlothian Heritage. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison here with you to play out the string this evening. What a performance from the Stephenville Yellow Jackets. This is a program that went 16-0 a year ago, had one of the best receivers in the state in Coy Aiken, who had one of the best state championship performances we've seen in some time. Lost an awful lot from last year's team. Yeah, they're plenty ready for 2022. Look at TJ Pride up the seam. TJ Pride will go all the way. The special teams for Midlothian Heritage, good all night tonight. This time it pays off with 6 for TJ Pride.
And a clean play, no laundry on the field as TJ Pride hits his head on the goalpost. He knows that as soon as he sees that blocking open up, there's no one around that's going to catch TJ Pride, and he is running away from people. Look at that. No one within 10 yards of him, man. You pretty much saw it from the moment that he touched the ball. There's no one going to touch him.
It looked all night like one of those was coming. You could just see the way, Midlothian Heritage is very clearly a well-coached special teams football team. They have designs that work well for them, and they've worked all night. That one obviously worked better than all the rest, but they have been good in that third of the game all through tonight. They'll go for 2 once again here, try and cut it to a 12-point game. Barella's going to take it again, this time swallowed up for no gain, and it will stay 49-35.
You got to love that never say die attitude. And it's going to be, they're going to play you like this for 4 quarters in every facet of the game. You're going to have to be solid. You talk about them and their 12 punt fakes from last year. And that's what Stephenville came in expecting. They knew that. And Coach Doty, he knows it, that Coach Edwards is going to coach up his special teams and specialize in it in all facets. And so the games are won and lost based off of what your special teams can do. And you saw in a drive like that from Stephenville, they pretty much was like a backbreaker in this game. And still, you know, they put it pretty far away right now for the Jaguars. But, you know, coming right back and getting that kickoff and running it down like that, 80-yard return, that's okay. That's something to build on for next week.
So Heritage, you have to imagine, will come back with another onside kick here and try and make something of this final $1.14.
Yeah, no, they're not just going to go quietly.
No.
No, they're going to
Especially with how good the onside kick was last time. Why not give it another shot?
I think on the other end for the Yellow Jackets, if you're a guy up there on that front line that doesn't have an opportunity to get your hands on the ball, you've got to eliminate one of the other guys from the other side, because you know they are angling to try and get that ball before it goes out of bounds.
So here comes Riggins once again. Again with 6 on the near side. We'll see if he kicks it right at Titus Russell once again, the big tight end for the Yellow Jackets. Bounding kick, almost identical. This time they do have it.
Oh, my God.
And it's going to be recovered by TJ Pride. You cannot advance an onside kick, so it's not a touchdown, but it will be Midlothian Heritage football with 1:10 to play. The Jaguars are not quite dead.
Cardinal rule in broadcasting, guys. Don't holler, oh my God. I'm sitting here, I'm watching it, and I'm seeing it happen in real time, and I'm like, no, he's not. It's not happening. And
just a fantastic onside kick twice in a row from Dylan Riggins. Stephenville was fortunate to get on the first one, but that one bounced right into the waiting arms of TJ Pride perfectly. He took off with it, thought it was 6 points.
Yeah.
Which, how cool would it be if you could advance this? But
and lost his shoe in the process.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, he understands. Look, you have to really explain that to me, why you can't advance it. But boy, I tell you, Riggins is really good at that.
There is a player down here for, is it for Stephenville?
Yes.
I believe they're attending to PDP, who's the one who had the recovery there on the first onside kick from Midlothian Heritage.
Yeah, I think PDP, he got hit in the midsection. Yeah, he's giving up his lunch out there on the turf. That's a tough kid. Big kid also.
Mm-hmm. So now you're looking at 1st and 10 for Midlothian Heritage. Ball at the +47, so in Stephenville territory. Still down 14. Which again brings me back to the Hail Mary at the end of the first half. How if this was 42-35, this feels totally different, but still with life, especially if they've got a kid in Dylan Riggins who's going to keep kicking onside kicks like that.
Yeah, they're going to come back with another one if they can get a score here.
Caden Brown with the pump fake right off the snap, looking up the seam. Now he's going to try and take off and run for it, and taken down from behind, chased down by Malachi Arredondo. And quickly they'll bang their second timeout. 1 remaining for Midlothian Heritage, 58 seconds to work with.
Yeah, and look at that speed by Arredondo, the ability to chase Brown down from behind. And Brown was trying to get out of bounds, so they didn't have to burn one of those timeouts. And credit number 31 to Arredondo, chasing him down and making him burn one.
Arredondo, the senior, 6'1", 205. Head coach Stephen Doty said he put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason, and he said because of that, the combination that he has of speed and quickness, but also that power, he said he's going to give offensive linemen an awful lot of trouble this year. Gave Caden Brown some trouble right there, chasing him down, and it's 2nd down and 9. And more importantly, the timeout that it cost them, and just 58 seconds left to work with here for Midlothian Heritage to try and continue what has already been a rather miraculous run. They need more of it.
Yeah, and we've been talking all night about Ryder Lambert, but up front for the Yellow Jackets, McKinney and Rob Johnny and Arredondo have been doing a really good job, and Barkley.
Brown, quick throw right side for Barella. 2 defenders there. Nice job by Barella to get out of bounds. That will stop the clock. 52 seconds left. credit to this Midlothian Heritage special teams in general. That's a big part of how they've been able to at least craft some of what they hope is going to be a miraculous finish here. The kickoff return for a touchdown, an onside kick recovery. They've been good all night in special teams, and that's why they still have whatever glimmer of hope that they may have right now. Quick throw near side, making a man miss, and coming up the seam is Sam Hopkins down to the 21-yard line. They'll stop the clock momentarily at 43 so they can set the sticks.
Boy, you talk about a lot of twitch. Number 6, man, he catches that ball and he is gone. He gets out immediately. The clock is stopped, but still some life here for the Jaguars.
Down to 35 as Brown takes the snap. Looking far side, complete. Inside the 10, another first down, and the clock will stop once again as it's TJ Pride on the receiving end. Clock should have stopped. It's still running.
Yeah, they wound it back up.
They wound it quick, down to 18. I don't know if they see that it's running this far down to 14. Brown, no spike, pressured, going to try and take off and run for it. They're going to have to hit their final timeout here, 6 seconds to work with. Whatever glimmer of hope they had kind of evaporated with all of that time coming off the clock between those two plays.
And Mike, you said it, man. They wound the clock really quickly. They reset and they wound it.
I mean, on some level it makes sense only because in that circumstance now it's 1st and goal. Setting the sticks is a simpler process because you've only got to set the one, ball marker, if you will, rather than down and distance sticks. So I guess on some level that makes sense that it would be a simpler process and therefore it would take less time for them to wind the clock once again, but it felt awfully fast and a lot of time came off there for Midlothian Heritage. Now at this point, you almost wonder, do you have to score here in like 3 seconds to have enough time to kick the onside kick, recover it. Again, that's a play that maybe a second comes off the clock because the moment you catch the ball, the play's over, to even have enough time for one final play to try and throw it in the end zone. So it needs to be flawless here, and that throw goes incomplete to TJ Pride, and that will effectively end the football game. But a valiant effort for Midlothian Heritage to make this finishing stretch more interesting than you would have thought when Tate Maruska went racing in there for a touchdown to make it a 20-point game with $1:27 left.
No, I completely agree, and didn't leave themselves enough time there at the end with those timeouts. And you were thinking right when it got down to about 2 minutes when they had all of their timeouts, why they didn't use them then. Obviously, just a strategy for Coach Edwards to try and save it to the end, but right now they still find themselves no timeouts, 3 seconds, and the game basically over.
Caden Brown will have 4 wide receivers to this near left side. Moten, Hopkins, Barella. It'll go to Barella. He makes the catch, and he'll get in there for the touchdown, but as time expires, Midlothian Heritage will cut the lead down to a single score here, but with no more time to work with. They'll bring the PAT unit on to establish the final tally.
Oh, this game got a lot more interesting than it needed to be right there towards the end, didn't it, Mike? I mean, we were at the point where they were down by 3 scores, and they came roaring back. I love this Midlothian Heritage team. They're well coached, as we've seen on special teams, but just a team that won't go away.
I said it twice. I will say it one more time, and then I'll stop talking about it. If not for the Hail Mary at the end of the first half, this game's tied at 42 right now. Now, obviously, it's hard to play that game because who knows how the game would have developed had that play not happened. But it's hard not to point to those 7 points. The touchdown pass from Ryder Lambert to Peyton Poston as time expired in the first half as, on some level, the difference in this football game.
No, that's a valid point. That's a valid point in how big that play was going into halftime. And, man, they're going to go back and watch this, and they're probably, look, a lot of it is you're going to be mad at yourself for the opportunities that you missed. They came up against a buzzsaw in Ryder Lambert, and some of the throws that he made in that first half were just classic throws that I don't think anyone could have stopped tonight at any level. just how spot on he was. But, man, great game, great competition, and it ended up being a classic game.
Do stick with us on WFAA as we flip over to the WFAA News at 10 here. In just a moment, we will have high school game night. Joe Trahan out at that Allen St. John Bosco game. We'll have highlights, of course, from this game tonight on the WFAA News at 10 as well. So do stick with us for that here coming up in just about 10 or 12 minutes. But what a performance from the Stephenville Yellow Jackets. 5 touchdown passes for Ryder Lambert, 4 of them to Peyton Poston. Another touchdown run for Lambert. Tate Maruska with a touchdown run to kind of put the finishing touches on Stephenville's night. And a 49-42 final score as they knock off Midlothian Heritage in the open. Heckma Harrison, on your first evening with us here on Friday Night Football, your final thoughts from what was a wacky football game. 42 points in the fourth quarter alone. Weird game. But it all goes down as a Yellow Jackets win to open the season 1-0.
No, it really is. And you know what? Texas high school football is special, and you can see how special it is right now. All of the players, both teams, there in the middle of the field praying together. And this is what it's all about. A small community in Midlothian, everyone here staying to the end of this game and supporting these young men. And you just love to see it. And, I look forward to the ride that we're going to have. If this is indicative of the kind of season that we're gonna have, man. Whew. I wanna buckle my seatbelt. this was the way to start the season here on WFAA and ABC Plus.
So take a look forward on the schedule here real quick before we say goodbye. South Oak Cliff, DeSoto, 2 of the top 10 teams in the state in their respective classifications. 2 weeks from tomorrow here on Friday Night Football, September the 10th, a Saturday 5 p.m. kickoff. And then the rest of the way, it's Fridays right up until you get to the final game of the season, that Melissa Lucas Lovejoy game at the bottom of your screen, a Thursday night kick. But Prosper Denton Geyer led by one of the absolute best quarterbacks in the country. Sunnyvale Kaufman the week after that. There are ranked teams, high-end teams. Aledo Denton Ryan on October 21st. Maybe my pet favorite game that I'm looking forward to this season. There's a lot of really good games on the schedule. And for those of you Midlothian Heritage fans that are still with us right now, we will circle back and see y'all later this season on the first Friday night of October as they hit the road to face Mansfield Summit in a pivotal game within their district. Join us 2 weeks from tomorrow night, Saturday, September 10th at 5 p.m. for our next Friday Night Football broadcast. DeSoto hosts South Oak Cliff in another battle of state title contenders. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographers Tony Nahara and Jeremy Taub, digital coordinators Nick Blackhall and Paul Wedding, Heckma Harrison alongside, I'm Mike Leslie. So long for Midlothian with a final score one more time in a wacky one. 49-42 in favor of the defending state champions, the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, as they run their win streak to 17. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived in perpetuity on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a presentation of WFAA TV.